Bet. Hold on. Are we live? Are we on the air? Are we on the air? We on the air. What up?
Yo.
Time to clap this shit up. It's week 1 of the college football season. We're 2 weeks away from NFL season. It's about to get real spooky. I'm really happy to be here on another edition of Open Field. They had my AI voice on Open Gym last episode. If anybody was watching Open Gym, they definitely had the AI JayRob up there arguing with Ticket. I need to talk to management about that because I think bro was stealing my voice. But with that being said, let me give a big shout out to all our GOAT members, so you know who you are: Hermias, MR, Terry, IDWC, Avion Plumber. Shout out to our Hall of Fame members. Shout out to our GOAT members. We appreciate y'all, and let's keep it pushing. Obviously, we're going to be cycling people through in and out of the show today. I'm waiting for one of my homies, Makai Brown, to pull up. Makai play linebacker at the University of Alabama. So when he gets up here, he's going to tap in with y'all. Obviously, I know Trey, the UCF Big 12 Knights, they about to do their thing this year. They actually want to get into them when we get into college football. And then you already know what it is, man. It's the two halves of Headache Gang. Me and Bama here as always to give y'all the best football takes on Open Field. We're going to throw this link in. If you want to come up, please cycle in. We're going to be cycling guys in and out. If you want somebody who's commonly up here, we may let you out, just get somebody new. You know, you're trying to get some new perspectives, just some new characters. That's important to us. And please let everybody speak. If somebody's giving a take, let them get their takes off. Everybody will get a turn to speak. And I'm sorry for the late start. Don't host me. We just had to wait for open gym to get done. And obviously, as y'all know, Open Gym was having a riveting conversation about Charleston White and Brittany Rayner and everything that just happened there. So with that being said, Trey, Bama, how you boys doing? Y'all good?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Another day Bama, to talk about this. It's week 1.
It's week 1. We finally here. Here. Bama, how you feeling? How you feeling? You good, my brother?
I'm just feeling like, a typical Bama fan. Title comes through us.
The title runs through y'all. All right. So y'all ready to bring up some suspects? Let's bring up some suspects. Let's get it. And we'll get into our first topic. At first, we got my guy Random.
What's good? Nah. Today was a little special.
He's still whooping
today was a little special. Don't do that on me, JayRob. Don't do that for me, JayRob. I'm gonna have to go change after this. You're gonna get me in trouble.
He's still whooping on the channel. He's going crazy. He's still whooping. But,
I was just trying to match what we doing. What we talking about?
All right. So first, let's get into it. So as you can see, if you peep the title of the show, it's NFL and college football teams under the most pressure going into 2023-2024. One of y'all got an intercom system? Andrew, is that an intercom system playing in your background? Yeah. Yeah. That lady on the background, she got to be quiet. All right. Now we got a lady. You got like a lady or somebody talking behind you? No. It's your mic. Look. It's your mic. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's talking to something behind you. So I'm saying you gotta get someone quiet.
Hold on, Bama, you in class?
No, he in his office. He in the office right now.
I'm in my office.
He's in the office right now. He's in the office. He in the office.
Hey, JayRob.
But hold on. Let me get to the question first. Let me get to the question before we start veering off. Let me get into my question. So the first topic is NFL and college football teams under the most pressure heading into 2023-2024. So this could go. We're gonna start with the college teams, then we'll work our way into the NFL teams or later on the show. But we're gonna start with the college football first. Get that out the way, especially because we're going into week 1 of the college football season. So I'm gonna set the tone and I'm gonna set the table right now. I think the team with the most pressure coming into 2023, in my opinion, is the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think this might be the toughest the SEC's been in a while. I don't think that Texas game they got to play week 1 is going to be a slouch game. I think that's going to be a dogfight for them as well. Also, I think with Georgia being on the cusp of going three straight with the national titles, that could be a real change of the guard in the college football landscape. I think if Georgia goes 3 straight, they are the premier program in the game. Oh, yeah. And I don't think it'll be a debate anymore if that happened. So with that being said, what other teams do y'all think in the league will have the most pressure at 23? for me, it's Alabama. I would love to hear what y'all think. Starting with Trey, Bama, and we'll work through.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Bama. I was just about to mention Texas. They went toe-to-toe with Bama last year, and now Bama's supposed to be weaker, and they're bringing back the quarterback who people got question marks on him, but he's still a talented guy. I mean, when he was playing that Bama game, he was making plays before he got hurt. So I think it's Texas. They always, we ready, go ahead, blah, 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 whatever with Texas. I think they got the talent. They supposedly got the coaching with Sark. I think it's their year to win that Big 12, even though my team's in there. But I think it's their year to win that Big 12 and, make that playoff push finally, that we've been waiting on.
I love it. Bama, is you here?
Nah, he on mute.
You on mute. Go ahead, Random. Who you got? Team with the most pressure.
So we were talking about the coaching under pressure, and then the whole week after that, I'm gonna say it. USC. I think you got Lincoln Riley. He's had a few years to get his people in, and you got Caleb. You telling me you got the heir apparent, the next one, and he don't even get to the playoff? I think obviously, and then USC's getting ready to move to the Big Ten, and we're not going to sit here and act like it's going to be easier for them to make the playoff in the Big Ten in terms of they have to go through Ohio State, they have to go through Michigan, and whoever else pop up in there. I'm going to say USC because I think right now we've given them a lot of leeway because obviously when Lincoln Riley came in there, he had to bring his whole crew. He brought the quarterback, and last year they could have made it, but they stumbled. I think this year, if they don't make it this year's going to be like, wait a minute, have we been sleeping on USC? Realistically, especially when you look at their competition in the Pac-12, we're coming up on their last days of the Pac-12 anyway, but they should make the playoff. They have the quarterback, they have the talent. Plus, I know they were really big in the transfer portal. I know they got somebody from Georgia too, who couldn't make it there. But if you can't make it in Georgia, they're still a good player. So
are you talking about what's his name, like Bear or something?
Bear Alexander, right?
Yeah.
So they got the talent, especially in the Pac-12. They should make the playoff. Obviously, the road of the margin for error for them is smaller than, let's just say, an Alabama or even an Ohio State. But I think if USC doesn't make it this year, a lot of people are going to be like, wait a minute, let's go back and look at the resume of them since Lincoln Riley got there. So I'm going to say USC.
Bama, what about you? We had to skip over because you was muted. Team with the most pressure going into the season.
All the teams not in the SEC. Ohio State, Michigan, USC.
This fool gonna take half the country. What are we talking about?
Half of the country. You damn right. Half of the country. Half of the country. And the reason why I say half of the country, y'all talk all of this shit. Bama overrated. Bama this. Bama on fraud watch. Last time I checked, bro, we ain't did our share of winning. We owned damn near the 2010s. We ain't had our share, bro. Every dynasty must fall. But what you got to say about Ohio State? What you got to say about Michigan? What you got to say about USC? What about their drought? USC ain't been nowhere near nothing. They bought the whole kitchen. They basically the USC Sooners. They bought the whole over there, and Alabama too. It didn't do Nathaniel with it. They choked.
Hold on, Bama.
Not
I got a
once,
question.
but tweets.
Hold on, Random. I want to get everybody's teams first.
My bad.
Go ahead, Bama. Finish up, Bama.
So, of course, I'm taking the field. Everybody on the fraud watches the field, bro. Besides that, if we can't get no teams that definitively look like a top 4 team in the country without no losing, without no stumbling, when you need to win that game and you need to pull it out to keep the boogeyman out the Final Four, they pulling it out. It ain't they losing by 14 and all of that. So I'm going to everybody else, man. Y'all got to show me that y'all don't want a team in the SEC in the Final Four, because I don't believe it. Like, from what it look like right now, y'all love them SEC teams in the Final Four. Y'all love them. They love them in there.
Okay.
Stuff, my boy.
Grant, who is your team under the most pressure heading into 2023? You muted, bro.
You muted,
bro.
Okay.
You good? Here, McNeil, you go, and then Grant, we'll come back.
All right, bet. What up? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. This
Yeah,
brother
man,
looking sharp this morning. Looking sharp this afternoon.
You know, man, I got it.
He did the whole thing, bro. He's
my boy looking sharp right now. So who's under the most pressure, man?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go with USC as well, man. Every time I look on TV, that's the team they picking in the playoffs, and they ain't really showing us shit. Other than they got the player coach, I think Lincoln Riley he's probably the coach under the most pressure, seeing that, he has a history of all of these historic quarterbacks, and only thing he really got to show for it is Heisman. So, man, I think it's really simple. I'm going to have to go with USC because everybody's picking them in the playoffs. And, yeah, man, they in the Pac-12. They're supposed to be the favorites. So, yeah, I got USC, man.
I like USC. Grant, are you unmuted? Grant, you good?
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, bro.
All right, so for me, it's probably Texas because if I think about it, last year Sarkisian had a really good season, but I think all Longhorn fans this year, they want to win championships, and with the roster that this team has, I don't see a reason Texas shouldn't at least make the Big 12 championship because we already know Quinn Ewers is going to start, and they're going to get another shot at Alabama. If they win that, and that's if, it would be big, but they got to beat Oklahoma again, and more importantly, they got to win the Big 12 championship. But it's the Big 12's expanded. Oklahoma's tough. This league, I feel like this year for Texas is taking, and I think if they don't live up to that expectation for these fan base, and I think they're going to get very frustrated because I think they have a solid team this year that can get them into at least the Big 12 championship.
I like it. Dev, team with the most pressure heading into 2022, 2023, 2024, man.
Okay, well, they already say USC and Texas. They took my pick, so I'm gonna go on a limb and say LSU instead. My reasoning why, because I think LSU after last year having some big wins against Alabama, going to the they made an SEC championship game, right?
Yeah, they
made an SEC championship game. You have another year of McDaniels, another year of Brian Kelly as a coach. They bring back they have one of the best defensive players in the nation on their team, and I feel like the SEC is open for him to win, and I feel like LSU fans themselves think they have a chance to win it and potentially go to the playoffs. So I think, especially with Jaden McDaniels being, like you said, the best quarterback in the SEC right now, I think they have a lot of pressure because they have an opportunity to go far. So that's why I'm gonna say them.
I like it. Shonen, what we got?
Yeah, so obviously I'm like the biggest noob when it comes to the college football scene. I'm set up, got my dynasty league set up, so I'm gonna be tuned in. I decided to drop in the Ohio State bandwagon. I am going to be supporting Ohio State.
Love it. Welcome.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir.
How could you let JayRob talk you in like
Welcome
that?
to one of the best fan bases in all of college football, man. Welcome.
I live in Ohio. It only makes sense. You feel me? So
welcome.
With that said, I'm gonna be tuned in also, and like my answer would be something everybody's been talking about, like with USC, especially considering Caleb Williams is supposed to be that prospect, that next prospect that's supposed to turn the league on fire. Honestly, based on how they're talking about him, they make it sound like he's gonna be better than Trevor Lawrence. So
he's supposed to rival Patrick Mahomes.
That's what they're saying. So I'm trying to see what they saying.
I'm drinking that Kool-Aid, that Caleb Kool-Aid. I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid, bro.
All of it.
Did y'all see him last week? He dropped that snap and they shut down 50 yards.
That was crazy.
I know you don't like the fact that he's getting these comparisons because you think he should be the best Caleb Williams, and I 100% feel you. But that boy muffed the rock, picked it up, and just threw that shit all arm and back foot with a gun.
Against San Jose State.
That was still crazy.
Alabama, if he did that for Alabama, you'd be gawking the mess out of him. That's what you would be doing. If he did that, if he had an Alabama jersey on, the exact same thing, you'd be gawking the mess out of him.
This is why I say, bro, this is why y'all be missing me, bro. When I be going crazy, bro, look what Bryce Young did in crunch time versus LSU. That was just on the defense, but that's crunch time versus an interdivision opponent in the SEC. I'm not getting hype off of the junior college where I work at. That's what they just played last Saturday. They played a junior college, bro. Did you see that?
San Jose State respecting their D1 program.
I'm not doing that. I really play football, bro. I can do this. San Jose is doo-doo. But
they were good though. But they were a good team in that division.
They're a D1 program.
I saw that halftime score, and I'm not gonna lie, I had to double check my phone. I was like,
that was
I was like, that ain't no way.
Bama, they're not one of the premier programs.
The reason why you missing me talking about when Caleb picked up the ball and threw it, bro. If DB just would have sat there and guarded the receiver, he wouldn't have had nobody to throw it to.
Oh my God!
It wasn't like he was wide open.
Hey Trey,
that was still a crazy play. It was still a crazy play.
It's a crazy play.
Hey Trey, what's the rule when a quarterback scrambles? What you supposed to do as a DB?
You got to plaster. You got to get on your man. Plaster the man. You already know it.
You got to plaster.
He watching. It's like it looked like the DB was watching Caleb Williams. I'm like, bro, what you watching? I'm like, what you watching the QB? It's a game going on, son. Like, what you watching the QB like for? Like, I know that's nothing in y'all playbook that say watch the QB as a DB. Like, so I mean, don't get me wrong. Caleb is good, bro. But like I said, I know that's not the show, bro. You remember when Toby Rama was talking that shit to Sauce and Lloyd first had that energy real quick. That's what y'all gonna make Patrick Mahomes do to Caleb. Right now. That's what y'all gonna make Patrick Mahomes do to Caleb, but when you really have to see Lloyd first, bro, like it's gonna be a scary moment.
It's a comparison. Nobody's saying gonna be Patrick Mahomes out the gate. What Patrick Mahomes was out the gate was special. It's just the ability. It's the potential. What we talking about?
I like the ability.
Bro, what are you talking about? You talking about potential is something that they ain't did yet, and you waiting to see them do.
Yeah.
So okay,
that's all we're saying.
I can only base it off what I've seen, bro. What I've seen so far. He is a good college football quarterback. I don't even think he's the best college football quarterback unanimously. But when you get to compare
oh my God.
Burrow,
who is?
Hold on.
Right now or all time? Right now or all time?
Tripping, bro.
You should lagging. You should lagging.
No, we definitely got to hear this name.
I'm gonna need to hear the name.
What quarterbacks in the country right now would be as good or better than Caleb or as good?
Caleb has to literally fall off a cliff, not get drafted number one. That's what. Exactly. That's basically where we're at.
Shout out to the Cardinals.
Like, bro, you know, he can literally say, "I'm not playing another game this year. I'm gonna get ready for the NFL," and he'd still get drafted number one overall. So look, he's going number one.
Let me ask y'all this: you got Drake May. He just cleared Drake.
He clears Drake May. He clears him. Yeah. I like Drake May. I like Drake May a lot. I like Drake May a lot.
Ask any. Yes,
he clears him.
Ask any coach in the country.
That's another dog. But
he played a great game last week.
Bama. Ask the Notre Dame coach right now.
Hold on. I'm just asking my question. Just let me get my few quarterbacks.
You might put Sam Hartman up there when he puts up 300 on Ohio State. You might put him up there.
Hold on, Go Blue. Go ahead, Bama. What else we got? What other quarterbacks? I'm taking them over Sam, and I'm taking them over Drake May. Clears both of them. Who else?
So you got Michael Pittman Jr., Cam Ward, Shea Dore.
The only one I'll give you. Penix is close. Penix is close. Is the closest. I like Penix more than I like Drake May. I think Penix could go.
He's still clearing.
Top five. He's still clearing Penix too. Yeah,
still clearing.
Hey, look, Bama. Caleb Williams is clearing Bryce Young. I know you don't want to hear that. He's clearing Bryce Young too.
Hey,
I'm gonna set my screen up because you're talking crazy right there.
Look, crazy Bama. Ask all them quarterbacks you just named. Ask all their head coaches if they wanted Caleb Williams or the quarterback they got. And if they be 100% real, they put the truth serum in them. They say, "Hey, bro, thanks for your love, but Caleb coming." That's what they doing.
I guarantee you, in Boulder, they going with number 2.
But that's his son.
But even then,
he got to.
Even then, Bama.
What about Caleb Williams?
He having a serious conversation with Shador. It's like, look, let me tell you, bro.
Listen, bro.
Different. I don't know Shador. You might have to think, hey, I'm a redshirt.
That's my Heisman. I like Shador. That's my Heisman hope right there. Shador,
Bama, I gotta say this. Bama, I gotta throw this in there. Look, Caleb is at the top, right? I'm saying Caleb is number 1, right? He's at the top, and then the mix of guys that's like right who could be like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th that round is like Penix, May,
JJ,
Jaden Daniels, Jordan Travis, Ewers, Hartman, maybe Cade Klubnik. There's gonna be a plethora of guys that are gonna, Spencer Rattler, Bo Milton for sure. Oh man, Bo Milton, I can't wait to see him play this year. Oh my goodness. that boy could go 90 with the throws, bro. He could go 90. I think Bo Milton could go.
I didn't hear no J.J. McCarthy.
Because I meant to not say him like everybody else's, bro.
The only bad
I
part
always
about-
think to me, J.J. McCarthy did not wow me in too many games this year. I think he had an elite running game.
Oh, yeah, just wait.
Best in the nation. Hold on. I like JJ. I like what his intangibles could potentially be, but I'm not looking at JJ when I'm talking about these other quarterbacks. I think every quarterback I just said so far is better.
All right, Bam, I also want to say this. I think y'all play like Middle Tennessee State. I don't want to hear you coming up and talking about your quarterback at all. If no highlights from that game,
none of his highlights.
I don't want to hear nothing that day. I don't want you. I'm not gonna come in here on Tuesday. You be like, whoa! You see what old boy did? See that 40-yard throw he did with that defender was just looking. I want to hear nothing from you that day.
I'm not gonna brag on the busted play. Last year, you
bruh, it's not the play. It's the
wait. You talking about mildew?
It's the throw for
mildew's crazy.
If y'all say that,
these are college kids. Chill with mildew. Well, actually,
go
ahead.
Bro. If Patrick Mahomes does that, they showing that on SportsCenter 40 times in a row. That's an incredible off his bad foot.
Because he is doing that against paid individuals playing defense.
Okay, let's pretend like college kids ain't getting paid no more.
I guarantee you, just hear me out. I guarantee you in the NFL, 10 out of 10 times, that DB does not watch the quarterback pick the ball up. Another thing in the NFL, I also guarantee you too, the pressure is going to be in Patrick Mahomes' face to where he's going to get his chest plate blown out and still have to make that pass. That's why we're going to be on ESPN blowing that play up, because it's like, bro,
I can't believe you watched that play and you're like, I can't believe you watched that play.
San Jose State.
Bama, to be fair, Bama, to be
what I said. I don't want to hear nothing from Middle Tennessee State that week. I don't want to hear nothing at all. All I want to say, hey, that was light work. We'll see you next week.
Again, how about I do this? In the past 5 years, how many times has USC been to a natty? Or Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams only been in college football for 2 years.
Well, hold on.
Okay,
that has less to do with Caleb Williams and more to do with Lincoln Riley and that defense, bro.
Lincoln Riley only been there, what, 2 years? 2 years?
Yeah,
well, Lincoln Riley's allergic to defense. He's allergic to defense. He got to see a doctor because he's allergic to that shit.
But Bama, to be fair, though, it is kind of nasty because we've seen other players make spectacular plays on lower tier teams. So it's like, it's still a spectacular play, though. Even though it's against.
That's the truth, Bama. He's only been there 2 years.
I'm not hearing that, man. Bryce Young
He's only been there 2 years.
Time on the center went.
Okay, let's pretend like let's
pretend
like
Bryce Young thinks that.
Alabama.
Well, he's been there 2 years, but he's been in the same system for 3.
The difference between USC and Alabama.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Bama? Do I really have to spell out for you the difference between USC and Alabama?
Hey, Chad, y'all see
if he once again, he didn't even refute my first statement. If Caleb Williams did that for Bama, he'd be gawking the mess out of this street right now. We don't have to leave and give him some privacy. That's how crazy he is.
I'm southern and I'm old school with it, man. I don't get happy off of them little teams, man. You know what I get happy off of? Winning them national championships, bro. That's why I don't sit and brag about Alabama. I ain't one of these little fans who ain't never played the game before, man. I know what time it is.
I can't believe it.
So you won't know when mildew. You won't know when mildew looks good. So what? He plays like LSU.
JayRob and they call me young. Y'all boys both play ball, man. Y'all both play ball.
I got you.
Hey, Bama. So hold on, Bama. So you can't say nothing about mildew until he plays like LSU or something. Then
man, he talking this ignorant shit.
You can't give him no compliments till he plays a ranked team. Then
NAIA, right, JayRob? Niggas was regular. I had 150 when we played the NAIA, right? Because I played D2. I wasn't as fortunate as y'all boys to play Division 1. So when we scheduled the NAIA, boys coming in bragging, oh, I had 200, I had 150. Man, coach cussed us the fuck out, bro. Like, bro, shut up. We're supposed to beat them. Like, that's what you supposed. That's why we scheduled them. That's why they scheduled San Jose State. But see, I understand, bro. You don't see it, so it's like, oh man, them good ball. You would think that San Jose State is good, bro. Listen here, I'm gonna show you. I can show you a receiver that's getting a scholarship from San Jose State, and I'm gonna show you a receiver that's getting a scholarship from USC, and you will be able to see the noticeable difference.
You know the funny thing is though, you can't.
We did see in the USC game with Zachariah Branch. He was going crazy.
A
Crazy.
But hold on.
Hold
So
on.
you hold on.
Bro, he look like a
He
Dory
was
Jackson
bugging.
out there.
Hold on. You may not be able to tell how good a player is against a bad team, but you'll be able to tell if they mediocre, because if they ain't playing up to a certain level against a mediocre team, that tells you something. Now if they play good, I mean, maybe you could say that, but if they show some holes in their game like Mildew might, I mean, you might be able to say something then.
Well, that's what I was saying. I want to refer to.
How you keep
they
calling
call
him
me young.
Mildew, though?
Yeah, I want to refer to your experience in this because I don't understand how. Yeah, I don't understand how, especially with Bama, how you can say what's the difference between USC and Alabama, and I'm like, do I really need to?
He asked that question.
He really asked that
question.
There's no difference.
This is why I say y'all walk yourself into a corner. Just right before, bro. Y'all talking about the title go through Georgia. Bama is a beatable team.
You said that.
So
I never said that.
If Bama is so beatable, right, and they not relevant no more, so that means it's no different.
No, they're still relevant.
Who said they weren't relevant?
No one said that. I don't think who said that.
You sound like a hurt Alabama.
You sound like a hurt Alabama.
I still think Bama can beat USC. I still think Bama can still beat USC.
This is where y'all killed me. So, do y'all think Alabama's the favorite to go to a national championship?
No.
It's Georgia.
It's not Michigan and Georgia. Michigan and Georgia.
Okay, so
Michigan and Georgia are the favorites to go to championship.
Y'all said, okay. I'm glad you said that. So, based off of what y'all just said, it's no difference between USC and Alabama. Don't give me that shit. Because at the end of the day, you just said
you make that statement and be 100% honest. I don't understand how you don't. That's like saying there's no difference between the Cardinals and the Chiefs, or the Vikings and the Chiefs. I don't understand how you can just say that and be serious.
In the NFL, it's really not. But see, this is where I'm finna break this down for you, right? JayRob, everybody up here. If this is 2012, would y'all say anything about Alabama? If this is 2011, would you say the same thing about Alabama?
Bruh, you can't use stuff from 10 years ago. The game's completely.
Well, hold on. First of all, your quarterback. You had a good quarterback then. You had a good quarterback. You didn't have no unknown mildew quarterback that didn't play that well last year. Let's be real.
That don't lie on national TV. We had Greg McElroy. And we had
Greg McElroy was a high recruit that showed flashes. What are you talking about?
And AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron showed flashes. Mildew showed negative flashes.
They were bad pro quarterbacks, but they worked in your system.
Wait, time out. Did he say Greg McElroy? Wait, time out. Hold on.
I'm not putting that much better on. Yeah. First of all, I don't know about Greg McElroy. Yeah, that was
Wait. Did you just say that Greg McElroy showed promises?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a little cat.
Hold on. Was it Greg Hold on. Was it McCarron or was it? Hold on. Was it McCarron? Wasn't it McCarron?
That's what I'm saying. You talking about the quarterbacks, and the only thing they was 4 stars coming out of high school, and that don't say much. Anybody can be a 4-star coming out of high school. When they got there, them niggas was doodle game managers. Where they had a stout defense,
and there's nothing.
But that's Bama at its best, though. That's virtually. Saban needs to go back to that. Saban needs to go back to that.
No way.
No, he does not.
Yes, he does, bro. His best teams will run heavy. Even the Jalen teams, and the Tua teams to an extent were strong on the O line. They had big backs. They ran the ball. Huh?
The Tua teams was
I said Tua. Hold on. I said Tua. Hold on. I said the Tua teams to an extent, not as much as the Jalen teams, not as much as teams before that. They've been trailing more to pass, and that's affected how good they've been on the O line. They aren't that tough nosed run the ball team no more. It's a stylistic thing. That's the problem. Point blank. Period.
Chose not to run the ball from back.
But that's also
they need to go back to that. They need to go back to that.
But what do you mean go back to that? Because the past few years with Bama,
they need to go back to a more run-heavy style. Run-heavy style with a pass.
But that's not football.
The majority of them teams had dogs on that receiving core. Trios. It don't, bro.
First round talent, bro.
You had Calvin Ridley. Even in 2020. Smitty Waddle, even the year before, Smitty Waddle.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs, Judy on one team.
Keep it a buck. Mac Jones had no business, would not have been considered a first round talent
without that team.
He had 3 first round wide receivers.
And John Minchie as well.
No,
And
man, they
John
need to go
Mechie,
back to
and John
running the
Mechie.
rock
And John
20
Mechie
to
was
30
special.
times a game, play action. They need to go back to that.
No. You just need
No,
to. That's what
no,
Michigan
no,
need to do.
no.
Don't
No,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Alabama.
that's
will
what
just
y'all
do
need
that.
to do.
Hey,
Michigan
man,
need to do that.
Georgia is what Alabama was.
Georgia has dogs. What we talking about?
I'm talking about the style, bro. I'm talking about Georgia is the tough team of the SEC now. They the tough
How did
ones.
Georgia just beat Ohio State?
I mean, they passed through there too, but
Hold on. I gotta cook him.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, go Blue.
No, he didn't
Go
actually.
Blue,
Because here's the
go Blue.
difference.
Go Blue. No, he put you. I'm gonna tell you what really happened. And this is where you lost this argument. You try to say Georgia was doing what Alabama done. No, Michigan is trying to do what Alabama used to do back in the day and run the rock. Unfortunately, y'all not Alabama, y'all are Michigan, and it won't have the same effect because you saw Georgia.
Hold on. Michigan is hold on. Michigan.
Y'all are trying to be like an
Yeah, I agree. Hold on, I agree. Hold on, JayRob, I agree, but it's a spectrum. So Michigan is more towards the end of the spectrum that was old Alabama. Georgia is more towards that side of the spectrum too, but not as much as Michigan. Bama has gone way more to the spread side. That's my point. Bama needs to go back towards screen games, running the ball more, play action.
But why would you not play in a spread offense if every year for the last few years, how many first-round wide receivers has Alabama put out? If you have those type of weapons, why are you running the ball all the time?
Look, I agree.
You have all this talent on the outside.
Hey, I agree with that.
Hold on, let me finish. If you have all this talent on the outside, right? You got 4-3. You got John Mechie, Judy, Devontae, Waddle out there, all at once. So you got the defense spread out, and now I got goddamn Najee Harris in the backfield with all this weapon. You're gonna eat. That's why Alabama decided to spread the rock out. That's why their system has changed.
And I agree with all that. Look,
and also that's how they beat Georgia.
Hold on, I agree with all. Listen, Ohio State has this problem too. Ohio State, it's about balance. Ohio State will lean way more on the pass than they should. This is. They have the great wide receivers, right?
You know Ohio State.
You know how good Marvin is.
If they don't lose their receiver,
that's Marvin Harrison. That's the thing.
Hold on. Ohio State has a problem where there's this thing that comes when you're this air raid team and you this spread team and you don't work on toughness and running the ball and you want to lean towards passing, you're going to become soft. You're going to become soft. You're going to become butter soft.
But hold on,
You're talking about one. Hold on. You're talking about one game. I'm not going to use a one-game sample size. I'm talking about over the course.
In the playoff last year, they clearly did enough to make the playoff.
Hold on. So you don't think if Ohio State runs the ball more against Michigan, they have more success?
About Michigan.
No. Go blue.
Okay, JayRob going to agree with this. You don't think you don't.
Go Blue, get your point off first, then Trey, go, Dev, Random, Trent. Go ahead.
Okay, real quick. If Ohio State would have stuck with the run more against Michigan, they would have had more success. 100%. They were gashing Michigan in that first half, running 5 yards of carry, but instead of balancing it out between the run and the pass, they decided, you know what? Let's keep passing when they were getting like 5 yards of carry.
Yeah,
there's
other things that went wrong with that game too.
Yeah, but this is the problem, bro. Yeah. When my personal philosophy is you need to be slightly more run heavy. If you want to spread it out, that's fine, but be more balanced. When you start passing and only working on passing and not running the ball, it leaks to the rest of the team. Your defense becomes softer. All that shit. That's why Lincoln Riley's defense are shitty. That's why Ryan Day's defense, they're not shitty, but they're not as good as they were under Urban. That's why a lot of these spread teams, they like to spread it out. When you ain't working in the trenches and running the ball and working on that tough nose shit, it's gonna leak to the rest of the team and how they play.
Blue, I'm gonna just say one thing, and then Trey and Dev, I just hope, like, you saying all of this about my squad and all these other teams, but you know your team got bounced out by TCU, right?
Exactly.
That's all right. That's all right.
Doing all that tough shit. Doing all that with that. Doing that. A spread team. A spread team. Hold on. A spread team that's not. But let's talk about the defense that they ran. They run a 3-3-5. So if anybody knows that defense, everybody knows that defense is liable in the run game because if you don't have three absolute dudes at your 3 down linemen, you're going to it's gonna.
Oh, hold on. Michigan didn't have a problem scoring in that game. Hold on. Michigan put up 40-some points. So let's not act like they had a problem scoring.
No.
Okay, you just blasted Ohio State.
Don't cut me off.
And they didn't have a problem either.
Random, don't cut me off. I'll let you.
They stopped Michigan's run, though. That's the difference.
I'll let you get your shit off. Stop talking. I'll let you get your shit off. They was out there getting fucked up by TCU, my brother. At the end of the day, I don't mean to curse, but I don't want to hear like y'all style. Like I get it. Y'all sniffing yourselves. Michigan has been feeling real bold. They beat Ohio State twice. So because they beat Ohio State twice, now they're looked at like this national power. But y'all haven't gotten over no humps. Y'all ain't have won no national championships or have done anything spectacular where now people need to look at Michigan as they're some sort of the blueprint. And y'all beat Ohio State over the last 2 years.
I didn't say they were the blueprint. I didn't say that.
We've had way more success than y'all have. We've been to just as many We've been to just as many playoffs, if not more. We've won a natty over the last decade. We've been smacking y'all over the last.
JayRob, I'm not arguing that.
So I'm just saying.
JayRob, I'm not arguing that.
I know you're not, but I'm just saying. People's teams are going to evolve with the times. That's just the reality of it is. It's not a run-heavy thing no more. You're not going to see too many run-heavy teams. Why do you think teams like Nebraska and Wisconsin have not been to the same level that they used to be? Because the way they used to play football is not the same. Why do you think LSU has had to change their entire philosophy? All these teams.
Why do you think Georgia Tech had to get out there?
Georgia had to beat Ohio State not because of being able to run the rock. They threw the football.
Exactly.
I agree. Hold on. You guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You still need to be able to pass it through the air when you need to, like Georgia did against Ohio State. Michigan against TCU still put up 40-some points on offense. Yeah, they shut down the run in the first half, but let's not act like they didn't drop 40 fucking points in that game. Really, that game came down to 2 pick sixes by JJ, fumbling the ball at the inch yard line, first and goal. A reversal. I mean, there's a lot of things that went against the game, not their offense. Their offense had nothing to do with them losing that game.
Hey, can I rebuttal that?
Hold on, Trey. Who affects interceptions?
How's the offense a problem? They dropped 40 points. Like, what the fuck?
If you have 2 pick sixes, though, who does that?
That's the offense's fault.
That is the offense's fault, but you guys are acting like the offense didn't drop 40 fucking points. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, y'all are playing.
They lost.
TCU is not a defensive powerhouse.
Their TCU defense still made more plays.
Yeah, they're not. That's why Michigan dropped 40. You're right. That's why Michigan dropped 40. They didn't lose because of the offense. That's not why they lost, bro.
Michigan is not.
Oh my God.
Georgia. 2 years ago, y'all played Georgia. Y'all got blew off the floor.
Okay, hold on. That was a generational defense, probably the greatest defense we've seen in college football. So we can throw that out the window. And we also had Cade McNamara at quarterback.
That generational defense, Bryce Young beat that generational defense.
And we also had
he beat them twice.
And we also had Cade McNamara at quarterback, a fucking statue. JJ was not the quarterback then. So you can throw that out the window.
Why did y'all
get your point? You can't turn the ball over. So look, this is everybody's point to what you're saying though. With that conservative offense stuff, and even if you look back at Alabama, that's quarterback only having four completions for 6 attempts. That's not gonna win you no national championship when football is so hard to change, dog. You gotta get high, exactly, not anymore. You gotta get high power offense. You gotta get gunslinging quarterbacks. And that's why Alabama had to switch it up, because we would start recruiting people like Blake Barnett, Tua, Bryce Young. You not finna get quarterbacks like that and then be like, oh, bro, you only can throw the ball 6 times in the game. Guess what they do?
I was gonna use some example.
Bro, you won more championships with a statue.
Hold on, you're not letting nobody talk.
So this is what I'm saying. The reason why y'all lose games to TCU and stuff, because that conservative stuff, it gets you into the situation to where eventually that thing that you cover up, which is quarterback, he gonna have to win the game for you. He gonna have to make a decision to win you the game, which we go back to those interceptions versus TCU. Yeah, y'all put up 40, bro, but based off of how you run offense, which is very conservative, you have to rely on everybody you make an excuse about. You had Cade McNamara, then you got JJ McCarthy. Well, y'all just calling him McCarthy Mahomes just not too long ago. So that's what you, the corner you run into when you run that conservative offense. Can that dude up in the center make a play for you? If you don't have a gunslinging quarterback, you need,
now.
Thank you.
Bro, he is a gunslinger, bro. He had 400 yards against TCU. What are we talking about?
Pick sixes though. Hold on, let Dev go. Dev go. Dev, get you. This man had his hand raised for a minute. Dev, go ahead. Dev.
Yeah, because I was gonna name multiple examples. Well, Bama kind of got it, but I was gonna name multiple examples. I feel like the year when Clemson beat Alabama, that's a prime example of like you had to have a great quarterback to throw the ball because we play those high-powered defenses. Running the ball is not gonna win you those games because we've seen Georgia that we see the Alabama defense get break down by spraying the football. Even when Bryson had a monster game, 461 yards, he spread the ball around. You have to spread the ball around when you face an all-time great defense with those rushers and those rushers, D linemen and linebackers. You got to get them moving because when you spread the ball out, it opens up the run game, especially in today's era. Like we said, you can't win with the those run-of-the-mill 3-star quarterbacks no more because the offense and it even translates to the NFL.
I agree with that.
Now. So the problem is when you say it makes you softer, I disagree with that because you still need you still need a tough O-line to pass block for you. You still need a tough running back to run the ball through the trenches, and through the hole. Because we're not abandoning the run game, but you need the elite quarterback into the air. Like think about it. Why do you think we're talking about? Hold on. Why do you think we're rating these teams in the national championship? Why do you think we have LSU going so high? Because they have Jalen McDaniels, one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC. Caleb Williams, they have one of the best receiving cores. Even Stetson Bennett. We know they trash Stetson Bennett, but Stetson Bennett balled out, and Stetson Bennett was one of the main reasons why they won the national championship game. They put up hella points in both games in a shootout. They wasn't like all these games wasn't.
I agree with all that. Yeah. You guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying be totally conservative. I'm not saying be totally spread. I'm saying there's a middle ground where yes, you need an elite quarterback, but you
these teams already have that middle ground.
You gotta have balance, bro.
Okay, you do. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with
yeah, but if you're gonna lean one way or the other, you gotta throw the ball. I mean,
you gotta throw the ball. Georgia, you have to.
That one championship.
Go blue,
bro. How did Jalen Hurts get bent?
He wasn't good enough. He was not a good enough quarterback.
Tua came in and won him.
Okay, was he good at? Hold on.
He was not good enough passing.
I agree with that. Hold on. I agree with that. Was he good? Was he good enough to win in 2016?
With a game plan, they're going to neutralize his legs and force him to beat them passing the
ball. Was he good enough to win in 2016?
That 2016 team was one of the greatest teams of all time. And that team was also one of the greatest.
Was he good enough to win Bama a chip in 2016?
That team had 22 starters damn near goals.
Well, hold on. I said, was he good enough? Was he good enough? He gave them the lead. He gave them, not because of him. He gave them the lead with what 2 minutes left in the game, and then they came down and scored. That wasn't because of Jalen. He led that team to 30-some points in that game, so he was good enough to win a chip, just not that next year.
You know why the team scored 31 points? Go look at his passing yards in that game, bro. Jalen
his running was a big. I mean, the last touchdown he scored was like a 40-yard run.
Go blue. You cannot win consistently like that. You just can't.
You can't win consistently.
I agree, running only. Yeah,
you don't win consistently passing all the time either, bro. It has to be.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a middle ground.
There is a middle ground.
You have to lean.
Yo, that Alabama team was stacked that year. They had Bo Scarborough, Trayvon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, Hurts, Reuben Foster.
Yeah, big old lines, big running backs. They won more chips with an elite running.
With their idea of balance. Okay, your idea of balance has to be.
They had Josh Jacobs on it.
They won more chips as a balanced offense than a full-on spread air tag offense. Point blank period.
Understand.
One at a time. Go ahead, Trent.
Yeah, I was just about to say, bro, this ain't 2016 anymore. Like you're not going to be able to get all these 5 stars on one team like how you used to. Now, granted, you're gonna have them sometimes, but not everybody want to go to Alabama anymore. So you saying that Alabama needs to run the rock and do it like how they do with Trent Richardson and Eddie Lacy back in the day? They ain't the times.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they need to go more the Georgia direction and be a happy middle ground. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing, though.
But that's not.
Georgia has all-time defenses. Georgia has
But Trey, not even just that. But not even just the all-time defenses, Trent. What I feel like he's not even realizing is in this year's playoff, we have just seen that Georgia did not. In order for them to beat Ohio State, they had to be effective in the pass game. They had to be a spread team. They're talking about this balance part of it, and I'm not saying you're wrong in saying
they're not a spread, bro.
Hold on, stop cutting me off. Hold on. Let me just finish my point. Stop cutting me off, bro. I understand that you need to be able to run the ball to be effective in football. I think everybody up here knows that. There needs to be an addition to an offense to run the football. But nowadays, in this new age of football, in terms of just first, Trent hit it on the nose. The times is different. It's NIL. So the era of the 10 best players in the entire country all going to Alabama, the top 20 and 15 and 20, the 15, the top 20 all going to Alabama. That's not happening anymore. Random, we'll see you later, bro. Right. That's not going to happen anymore because of NIL. The amount of different opportunities in other teams, the amount of money players are getting. So one of the biggest reasons why Alabama, the Georgias, the Alabamas of the world were so dominant and could be in situations where they can run the football to throwing it only 10 times in a game, 12 times in a game, is because you have every 5-star lineman. You have the best running back in the country. You have the best tight end in the country. Then you hang your hat on having the best defense in the country. You have all these advantages that make you able to play football in that way. But I do not feel like in today's game they will have all them advantages because people are going to go to USC. They're going to go to Ohio State. They're going to go to Georgia. They're going to go to LSU because all these other programs are having success. Even Utah is going to the Big 12, and they're going to make a lot of noise in that conference just because they've been dominant over the last 5 years. So it's not going to be the same era where the SEC is even going to be bigger. Oklahoma, Texas, they're going to sway kids. The SEC is going to be pulled to shreds with all this 5-star talent. So this idea that they're going to just run the ball is going to be that way.
And then also, bro,
hold on, Trent, stop doing that. Don't do that, bro. Don't even do that, bro. You're gonna get your point across, bro. So I just find it hard to look at a situation and be like, this is what they need to do now. Because even now, Georgia's the best team in the country. Everybody feels that way, and they didn't do that. They didn't stick to that traditional thing. They had to be able to pass the ball. So I think we gotta evolve our mindset a bit with the times. Go ahead, Trent.
And also, bro, like, can we chill on the recency bias, bro? Just because they haven't won these past 2 years, they don't need to change shit. All they need to do is go recruit better, get some better receivers. They're gonna be right back where we all see Alabama is, bro. Chill, bro. That's how you know. That's how you know how much. That's how you know how dominant Alabama's been. They for 2 years. Now they gotta change the off. Go back to running the bro. If they do their offense like how they used to do back in the day, they're getting stuffed. They're not winning nothing for the next 5 years because you're not gonna be able to just run the pill like that because you're gonna be able to recruit all top-notch D linemen, bro. It's not how it is back in 2009, bro. So like, yeah, bro. I gotta defend Bama up here, and I'm an LSU fan.
Yeah, I don't even like Alabama either. No, I'm not a Bama fan either, and I feel the same way. Go ahead, Dev.
Now, I was gonna say the main reason why Alabama is struggling this year is because of the lack of receiver talent they had. They had an elite running back in Jahmyr Gibbs, and he still wasn't able to like dominate the SEC or something like stuff like that. Even if Clemson, like Will Shipley's a great running back, but we had DJ. DJ was also struggling, but our receiver talent was also lacking this year. Like you got to have like
what elite wide receiver did Georgia have?
They had
just transferred to Texas. The dude that just transferred to Texas.
What elite wide receiver core did Georgia have, bro? They don't have one. What they do is they have elite tight ends. They have great blocking tight ends. They go to tight end heavy sets. They do some spread. They do some spread.
You just asked us a question. You just asked us a question.
Wait. But he just gave you young. Bro, you have Brock Byers, who's a top 10 college football player, and you had AD Mitchell last year. What are you talking about?
AD Mitchell.
AD Mitchell's good for one long TD pass in the playoffs, bro. He's not no fucking elite. He's not no elite.
That's crazy,
bro. He's not no elite. Fucking. Let's be real here. That wide receiver core is not considered elite in college football. They have elite tight ends. They have an elite O line. They have okay to decent running backs, and they have a quarterback that can run and make some throws in the pass game. That is classic fucking Bama.
Wait, Blue. Wait, hold on. But you're cooking yourself, though.
Bama that just lost, that just won 2 years ago had Jalen Waddle. They had Devontae Smith. They had John Minchie. How was that classic Bama? They just won the title before Georgia.
Well, yeah, when they had Bo Scarborough, when they had Bo Scarborough and Najee Harris and elite O-lines and big running backs, and then on top of that,
what are you talking about?
And then on top of that, they had elite wide receivers. Bama has always started with an elite O-line and big running backs, and then they go to the elite wide receivers. Right now, they don't have that.
But this is where you don't make sense, though, because even when you're talking about Georgia, you can't just put a caveat on the receivers. Like, they don't have a top 10 player in Brock Bowers. That's not an elite receiving weapon.
I said tight end. I mentioned he's elite. I said elite tight ends. The difference between tight ends and receivers.
AD Mitchell and James, he is the difference for why one of the reasons they're winning these 2 championships. Go watch his playoff game. He scores a touchdown.
What my point is, they don't have an elite wide receiver core. They're winning mostly with great tight ends, blocking, great O-line, screen game, a quarterback that can run and make plays. That's how they're winning, which is just so you know what Bama had from like 2016 to pretty much when Najee left.
Bro, even when they had Najee, they still had an elite receiving
core. Running quarterback.
They had elite receiving core on top of all that. It starts with the line and the run game, and then it goes to the play action and some spread, and then it goes to that.
Bro, anybody who plays college ball, bro, knows it's about scheme, though. Like, and plus, you gotta I agree. I agree with Blue a little bit because you got to start off with the run game. If you don't got no respectable run game, you can't pass the ball, bro. That's just football.
No, that's fact. That's period. Yeah, I agree with that.
If all you doing is passing that hole, the box gonna be wide the fuck open every time.
But I think that's not our. I don't think we disputing that though, bro. We're not disputing that. I think what we're saying is you got to have a run game for sure, but like if you're going like for example in the playoffs, teams are talented now. All these teams are going to be talented. So I feel like nowadays. You have to, even though you need to be able to establish to run for people to respect your passing game, you still need to be able to throw it on the outside to win. Yeah, I don't think the era of being able to just give one guy 20 carries and let him carry on his back. I don't think those days exist as much as they used to anymore. I think it's really low-key old in some ways.
I don't agree because somebody said like you got to have a gunslinger to win. You don't, bro.
No, you don't have to have a gunslinger. I don't agree with that.
You don't gotta have no gunslinger, bro.
But he has to be able to throw the football, though.
You do. I agree with that, though. I agree. But I'm saying the reason I say I agree with Blue because he was saying something about a balance. It got to be a balance, and it seemed like everybody trying to argue passing is more important. It's not, bro. Period.
No, but he's saying that to go back to.
I wish I played receiver in college. I wish the shit was more important.
No, but he said they need to go back to what
old school Bama.
And I'm like, that's not going to. I don't think that style of offense or way of play exists in today's game.
When I say old school Bama, I'm talking about I'm still talking about having an elite quarterback. I'm just saying go back to big running backs, an elite run blocking O-line. Running the ball a little more than you have been the past few years, and then doing more play action. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about going back to three yards in a cloud of dust.
But what was that? But what was that
always
style
had an elite receiver.
But McNeil and Go Blue, what was that style back then when they were doing those things? They were running a traditional pro style, I formations, power formations.
I'm not talking about that.
I don't think that'll ever be Alabama again. I don't think
you could do that from a spread, though. You could do that from a pro spread standpoint. You don't have to be in I formation.
You don't have to be in I formation, but that's who they used to be. I don't think they'll ever be that again.
I agree with that. But what I would say is like that we ain't really mentioning when we talk about old Bama or whatever. Bama always, damn near always had an elite receiver. When you go back all the way from Julio Jones, they always had, that X you can throw to at any point. That's really what you need, bro. Like, even when you look at Georgia, they got Bowers. Like, every year you look, it's going to be that one receiver that team got. Right. Yes, and they got a solid run game. Like, but you got to have that solid receiver. That's
they got one good receiver, great tight ends, a great O-line. They've had great running backs. They sound a lot like Bama from the mid 2010s to me.
But do y'all understand, like, that's not why Georgia is winning these national championships. It's not because of that. If you look at these past 2 years, Georgia dominated.
Why are they winning?
There have been 3 games that they played that were close. One they lost because Bryce Young and Jamison Williams was killing them. The national championship, they won the first one. Jamison Williams got hurt, or he would have killed them again. And then this Ohio State game, why was y'all winning that Ohio State game? They could not guard receivers.
Well, so you don't want to talk about Georgia's injuries, though. Georgia had plenty of injuries, too, bro. Let's not do the injury game.
I'm talking about impactful injuries. Abuka was torching them. Marvin Harrison Jr. goes down. If he doesn't go down,
Georgia was missing one of their best tight ends.
Who was guarding Marvin Harrison on Georgia?
Okay, they're missing Marvin Harrison. Georgia's missing one of their best tight ends and almost every outside linebacker they had. Like, we could play the injury game all day.
Wait,
you're missing the point.
But you're replacing 5 stars with 5 stars, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'll never get too lost in that. But hold on, I don't want to get
my point.
You only got
my point.
Finish your point, Trey, and then finish your point.
The pass game. The only way, if we're gonna put Georgia on this barometer as they're the standard, there's only 3 games that you've seen they struggle. All the teams have something in common. They got a dominant receiver and a dominant quarterback that's getting active on that defense. Because you're not running the ball against them. They're not.
Darnell Washington got hurt.
Hold on,
one of the best tight ends.
Hold on, Go Blue. I appreciate you, my brother. I'm gonna cycle some of y'all out just because we about to transition into the NFL. So I appreciate y'all for coming on. McNeil, Go Blue. Definitely need that energy again on Thursday because it is week 1. So y'all, obviously Trey, you stay, but obviously I'm gonna cycle some of y'all out because we about to get into this football, and I want to read some of these super chats. So I appreciate y'all for sliding. Make sure y'all come back again, and we're gonna rotate a little bit. Y'all be good. Hold on, let me get through some of these super chats real quick. Let me throw this link in here. Real quick.
JayRob, you really think Penix better than Drake May though?
Hold on. I think it's closer than people think. Bama, JayRob, how y'all feeling? Travis, we appreciate you. My dog Travis, you need to come up here, bro. We talking. I'm making sure I've been keeping college football alive on Players' Choice. I'm gonna keep pumping life into college football until we get the show back and we talking about it consistently. But I'm gonna make sure we still get it done, Travis. I'll make sure this story doesn't die. Trent, you like Penix over Drake May? I personally feel like it can go, like if I'm an NFL GM and I'm going to watch the tape on both of them, I think they both have a lot of things that translate really well. And I think when it comes to just accuracy, arm talent, Penix got everything that you like that everybody loves about Drake May. I think Drake May is a little bigger stature-wise, but I think Penix is still accurate, I think he's a bit more better of an improviser and a playmaker than Drake May. But I think it's all going to come down to the season. Because when I say closest, like I think Michael Penix and Drake May are like the if I were to tier the quarterbacks, bro, tier S is Caleb. Then if I would go to next tiers, it would be Penix, Drake May, and then I'd probably say that's my 2. Because I think those two guys specifically are going to be first-round draft picks.
Can you say that one more time, JayRob?
So I said my first tier of quarterbacks in the SEC in the college football is Caleb, and I think he's the one.
Then Mahomes is college football, okay?
Yeah, like how Mahomes is to NFL. Then the next tier I will go Penix and Caleb. I mean Penix. I will go Penix and Drake May. I think that's the next 2 because I think those guys are locks to be first-round draft picks along with Caleb in this next year's draft. And then that last tier, that 4th tier, that 3rd tier is like Jaden Daniels, Spencer Rattler, Bo Milton, Cade Klubnik. I think Bo Milton will be a first round, but I think that's more of potential. I still want to see him as a passer throughout this year. I know he can throw it 90 yards, and I want to see the full thing. But that's like the Bo Nixes, the DJ Ungulele's, Clay Klubnik. Oh, actually, you know who else is on that third tier too? I'm gonna give Jordan Travis the nod because I think he got a lot of good things.
I agree with that.
I'm
not mad at that list. I flip Drake May. I think I'll flip Drake May and Penix when it comes to like as a prospect and going to NFL. But for college wise, I like that list too. Like for college,
I think those three. I think Caleb, Penix, May, all first rounders. I think they're all first rounders. I think Bo Milton will get in if he has a good year in the first round, and I think Jaden McDaniels has enough intangibles to potentially go in the first round as well.
I also think what's the name? If he has a good year, I don't think he'll be first rounder, but I think Cam Rising and Sam Hartman can make some moves this season.
I just was about to ask about Hartman is Notre Dame.
Hartman definitely will go second or third round. Hartman actually may mess around and go first, but
Jay,
he got to win some big games. He got to beat Ohio State. He got to beat USC.
I like the way, listen, and I'm not too familiar with Hartman's game, but I'm gonna say this: I did watch the Navy game, and I know we're about to jump into the NFL. But to be honest with y'all actually got me tapped into college football, so I actually was watching a couple of games. But that Navy game, I just like the way, even though obviously it was Navy, but I like the way that he was moving around in the pocket. He didn't look deterred, you know what I mean? He kept his eyes up, was able to move very well, like very quick feet, and be able to kind of resettle and get into those angles, you know what I mean? Looks like he has a strong base when he throws. Looks like he can make pretty much a lot of the NFL throws. Just had to see, with more reps and things of that nature. But I like his movement, like in terms of, you know what I mean, like playing the part.
He's good.
They played Tennessee State this week.
I ain't gonna lie, Sam Hartman is nice. They actually playing my alma mater this weekend. So
they played Tennessee State this week.
He's about to put 60 on us. It is.
Hey man, guess what, JayRob? We getting that check though.
Yeah, we getting that check. Hey, they definitely paying us a back for that game though. Yeah, they definitely
that's insane. I'm not gonna hold you. I haven't thought about that, but we'll talk about that another time. Like the fact
Travis
that
Lindsay,
a lot of teams go.
No,
go.
No, I'm just doing these. I'm just doing these super chats.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Travis Lindsay, I told y'all how great May is. Yeah, May is good, but
you did
actually, he's good. He's good. Drink more water. This deepest position in college football right now. It's quarterback. It's easily quarterback. I think this is the deepest. I think, honestly, from all I can remember in all my years of college football, I don't think there's been a year deeper at the position than I think this one coming up.
How much of them are playable
Donovan Smith too, bro?
How much of them are playable quarterbacks in that?
Not even 2018.
I think. Let's be real. Let's be real here. I think I can name 12 to 15 quarterbacks, maybe 20 actually, that are going to play this year. Some of them will potentially sneak into the first round, and the other ones will have the potential to go within the next second to fourth round, either in this year's draft or they might be a first rounder to second rounder next year. I'll give you just a bunch of names right now: Caleb, Drake, Penix, Klubnik, Nix, DJ, Sam Hartman, Jaden Daniels, Bo Milton, Shador Sanders, Jordan Travis. You can go Mason,
Quinn Ewers.
What's my guy's name that plays at UCF right now? Miles. What's his name? The quarterback that plays
Plumlee.
Rice Plumlee. He's good. You'll have Dante Moore. You'll have Jaden Rashada. And they are true freshmen. These are true.
Yeah, freshmen. And there's Nico.
I'm only saying the guys that are starting.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna have JJ McCarthy, Drew Aller. There's gonna Cameron Ward over at Washington State. There is Dalton Rising. There's a number of quarterbacks this year.
How you feel about Joe Milton?
Bro, he's a freak. Like if he's literally, I think he could have an Anthony Richard-esque season like he had at Florida, and I think he still go first round just because of the physical tools. Yeah, the physical tools are absolutely freakish. But before we close out college football to go into NFL, there is something that I want to share with the chat and with you all. I've been putting this together. This is my week one. For those who gamble, I am an absolute degenerate. College football is my favorite time to gamble during the year. Because it is my favorite time to gamble during the year, I love to put out some of my bets or what I'm going to bet to my audience. I want us all to get money. So I make some picks. I'm gonna put it together. I put it together as a parlay, and then some of them I take straight up, whatever. But this is gonna be one of my just bug ticket parlays Gambling is bad, guys. Is maybe bad, but it is also really, really exhilarating when you win. So,
just don't gamble in the facility. Just don't do that.
Don't gamble in your facility. All right. So with that being said, I'm throwing in JayRob's Week 1 college football lock, open field, episode 5. I gave you the odds, so I'm taking Utah money line over Florida at -250. The biggest upset of the night, I think Vegas is giving too much money. Too much money. I am high on the Colorado Buffaloes. I am higher than most.
Let's go, Prom. Let's go, Prom.
Number 17 TCU opening week. They are a whopping. They are a massive underdog. Money line is set at +680. This +680 is literally carrying this parlay on its back. But I'm going to say, that the Colorado Buffaloes will upset TCU in Prime's debut opener as the Buffaloes head coach. It is going to be a shocker, but it won't be a shocker to me, and it won't be a shocker to you because you guys heard it here first on Open Field. I'm taking UW and Michael Penix -14.5. I will actually be at that game. They will play Boise State, so I got them -14. They play. Oh no, next week's game they play Tulane next week. I'll be at the game where they play Tulane. Tulane is actually on this parlay. Taking Washington -14 at -110 odds. I'm taking South Carolina upset over UNC. Now I love Drake May. Got Drake May to be the second quarterback off the board in this upcoming draft. However, UNC lacks in one department that is going to hinder them the entire year. They do not have a defense. And South Carolina has more talent. And I think Spencer Rattler can duel Drake May in the game. I saw that game he played against Tennessee last year. He had some good games coming on late. South Carolina have a lot of momentum coming into this season. They beat Clemson. If there's any team that can shake up South Carolina in the SEC this year, if there's any team that can shake up the SEC this year, it's definitely South Carolina. They can be a dark horse coming in. I like them at +116. Jackson State, the best team in HBCU football, they play this week. I like them money line over, I think, Texas Southern. Tulane, Trent, Tulane was one of the shockers of last season. Came on very strong in the American Athletic Conference. So with that being said, give me the green wave at -6.5. Sunday, we got a big one. Probably the game of the weekend. LSU, Florida State. Probably one of the most important games of the year. Why, you may ask? Why is that one of the most important games of the year, JayRob? Because the implications it will have for the college football playoffs. If LSU runs the table, even though they lost to Florida State, that might hinder them just because if Florida State doesn't play well. But if Florida State is a juggernaut and LSU is juggernauts, that will look like for both teams a good win and a good loss.
Right.
So it can be later on down the road. It could be a beneficial win or lose for both teams later down the road, depending on how they do in their conference. Love that game. I'm still going to take LSU -2.5. They have Harold Perkins, one of the best defensive players in the country. Listen, Florida State also has one of the best defensive players in the country in Jared Verse, but I'm going to take LSU. I think they have a better overall team, and we'll take LSU by 3 -15. And finally, I think the play of the day that everybody's not going to like the most, Texas Longhorns, +6.5 against who? The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yo, where's Bama?
I'm gonna say this now, JayRob. JayRob, respectfully. Once I seen the Colorado shit, you lost, bud. I'm sorry, bro.
I know you wasn't going to believe me.
Come on, Trent. That's prime right there,
I gotta believe it. I gotta see it.
Trent. You know
you gotta believe in prime.
You know that it would be so disingenuous of me not to take them with that money line right there. You know it.
That money
if
line
I would
have
put TCU on here, you would have said I'm a fraud. You would have told me that I'm not being honest with who I believe in. So I'm gonna put them in there. And Texas,
what was the over/under? Do you know the over/under for Colorado?
I think it's like 58.5 for the game, something like that. I think it's in the 50s. It's definitely in the 50s, I'm pretty sure. Texas +6.5, -105 odds. Now, this is my thing. this is why I'm taking Texas plus 6.5. I think Alabama wins only by like 3 points. Texas is going to be good this year. I think Texas is going to be better than people giving them credit for this year. I believe in Quinn Ewers. And to be honest with you, if Quinn Ewers is not good, Malik Murphy is ready to go and he can play. Malik Murphy can play. Malik Murphy will probably end up being on somebody's SEC or Big Ten roster next year as their quarterback after this year at Texas because of the guy I think he's going to be. I think Texas only lost to Alabama by 1 last year, and I think they are just as talented as Alabama. They have a lot. They're bringing a lot of players back. And the one highlight I have from that Texas team that nobody talks about enough to me is that front seven is pretty damn good. That defense was pretty all right this year at Texas. So I'm going to say this. Plus 6.5. I think Alabama wins the game by at least a field goal, only by 4 points at max. It'll be a great game. If you throw $10 on the full parlay, $4,850 could be coming to you. And if you were to take one bet, max bet, and what I say by max bet means you take your whole bankroll. So if your bankroll is 100, 200, 300, 400, whatever your bankroll is, max bet minus 2.5 LSU Sunday evening.
Oh yeah, JayRob. I forgot Malik Murphy was on Texas. Texas might have the best quarterback room in the nation. Think about it.
They probably do. They could. So that's my week one. We're gonna see how many hit, how many don't hit, and we'll have another one week 2. Solo NFL. Stop sharing. I'll stop sharing this now. And now let's rotate. Now let's rotate into our topic for the NFL. NFL football is around the corner. We're 2 weeks away. So let's set the tone. NFL teams. We did quarterbacks. We said quarterbacks under the most pressure. But NFL teams, which NFL team this year is under the most pressure?
The Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face because I always cape for Lamar.
I was about to say the same thing, Trey.
When he get these weapons, he is going to a Super Bowl. He got him. Got him.
He got him.
He got him. I think it's them, and then probably, yeah. I mean, I think people not really jacking the Bills anymore. So I think the most pressure is I think got to be the Ravens. Got to be.
Okay, I like it. No, I like the Ravens. I would say that's more pressure on Lamar than it is the Ravens.
Yeah,
but I agree.
I would say I like the Ravens pick. I like the Bills pick. But Dak is talking a lot this year. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, "Hey man, we got to win the Super Bowl." And Jerry Jones is like, "Hey man, let me pick up Trey Lance for a second to see what's up." So Dallas Cowboys is my pick as the team with the most pressure. They are always loaded, but it sounds like they're kind of talking more than usual this year.
That's the most loaded they ever been.
You know who else was talking? You know who else was talking? Trayvon Diggs. He was talking to Dak. Every single time he was talking to him. So I agree with you, Radell, but it's gonna be interesting because you got a cornerback, and you know how it goes, right? If your defense is chastising your quarterback, that's something that you don't like. You saw that with the Legend of Boom. You saw how that turned out with Russell Wilson. I'm just saying, it's food
exactly, and it doesn't help that Jerry Jones decides, okay, we're gonna get the young and up and coming project Trey Lance. And then he also says, "Oh man, I wish I got Jalen Hurts back in the draft." So it's bro,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yo, JayRob, you just getting slapped after
Imagine
slapped.
That is crazy.
Get a little.
I ain't gonna lie. Dak Prescott does not get no love, but I don't want to go too far into the Trey Lance thing yet because we're gonna talk about it. So
hey man, I got 3. But I'm gonna keep it down at 2. I'm gonna break down 1. For me, I'm going to say the San Francisco 49ers. The reason why I say this because they went through this whole quarterback debacle with, Trey Lance, Brock Purdy, and all of them. And now you made it to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row, right? 2 years in a row. Yeah. And you have yet to make it to the Super Bowl again. I think they have a lot of pressure to make it to the Super Bowl because the only team that's in their way, in my opinion, is the Philadelphia Eagles. So you have the defense, and now you put all your trust in Brock Purdy. So now I expect, okay, so this is your guy. So now let's go out here and do what you think you can do and go to the Super Bowl and potentially win it. You have the coaching. You have the elite defense. Now it's time for you to do it because, you lost the you made it to the Super Bowl in 2020, right? 2020? Mm-hmm. Made the Super Bowl, then lost in the playoffs 2 years in a row, and now you got to make it back there now. And the other team I was gonna say I was gonna say, I'm gonna say the Browns. I know that might be crazy, but I think the reason why I said the Cleveland Browns because you gave my guy Deshaun Watson one of the biggest contracts in NFL history. So I think they have pressure to, and if you miss the playoffs, I feel like it's gonna look bad. I feel like they at least gotta make the playoffs, and even though they're, I'll give them this. I'll give them some. I don't think they have a lot of pressure because that is a tough division, and the AFC is a monster right now. But I just want to say the Browns just be a little different.
Okay. Trey, for you, team with the most pressure.
Man, JayRob, you gonna hate it, man. I think it's got to be them Jets, man.
He took my answer.
I ain't mad.
Those Jets.
Yeah,
man,
I want that pressure. I never had that pressure before.
And it's fun too. It's fun to be a part of it. But you just added Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know about you. I'm not Aaron Rodgers for last year. Aaron Rodgers to me is still the second best quarterback in the National Football League.
I think so too.
Second best. And now he really getting. Now he got.
They're saying I got number. So you saying I got number 2 in the world is what you saying?
I think so. Hey, he 2 or 3.
That's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. He's still top 5.
You got him. You got Dalvin Cook.
Yo, I'm about to cry. I told you I got the second best quarterback in football.
Yes, gonna come back. You're gonna ease him back.
Nah, there's a guy in Cincy who has something to say.
He's our best quarterback in like 60 years. That's crazy.
And you got, then you got the defense. So I was told all last year, we get just a average quarterback. We in the playoff. Well, now you got a top 5 guy now. So like that's why I think them boys under some pressure. Like they should beat the Dolphins. They should be better than the Bills this year.
Well, make sure I like this video, chat. Make sure I like up that video, man. We need them likes. Get them likes up. I like the pick context. Last pick, and then I'll get to my pick. I already know who I'm got. I already know who I got.
So since he took away the Jets for me, I'll go with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's a great.
Obviously they're loaded, right? They got everything you could really ask for, from quarterback to run it to skill positions, even on the defense. You know what I mean? I think that. If we say Justin Herbert is supposed to be these up and coming generational talents, this is the time. This is the make or break season for him. Obviously, talks about him stepping into that realm of Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. The upper tier, and nobody's close to MJ Mahomes, but in that realm of Joe Burrow, obviously. Jalen Hurts, things of that nature, blah, 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 right? I think Jalen Hurts is in that tier, but a lot of people won't say that.
Talk about it.
But I'm just saying, like, I think the time is right. And honestly, another team that I do think that's kind of on the clock is, I got to say, on the NFC is going to have to be the Lions. I want to see where the Lions go from here. Moving forward. Interesting. Is Amon St. Brown now? This is not in regards to like winning things of that nature. It's just where do they go from here? Like what, or do they have a game plan moving forward? Is Amon St. Brown going to rot as a number 1 receiver? I think he's removed himself from that whole slot merchant thing. Now, don't get me wrong; he's definitely a slot merchant. Definitely a slot merchant. But I think he has the ability to be a number 1 option. And if he does able to maximize himself and be a number 1 option, I think that might elevate the team to what we expect them to be a little bit more higher. So I have the Lions in the NFC, and then I do have, as far as standings, I have the Chargers on the AFC.
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta say one thing though. Y'all really all pissed me off because there's one team that y'all did not say, and I know why y'all didn't say this because this is the most coddled team in the NFL. A team that always gets anointed as the Super Bowl winner for the last 3 years. Then they finally see some. They finally saw some fraudulent behavior, and now everybody's out. The Bills have the most pressure going into the season. At the end of the day, because y'all already crowned them as champions, and this all started 3 years ago, 2 years ago. When y'all crowned Bills the preseason best team in the world, best team in the nation, and when everybody and Trent, you remember when I was telling people, y'all lying about the Bills. Their defense not as great as y'all think. They run game not as great as y'all think. They run game is all Josh Allen, and it's all big. I've been was saying it to these boys.
The commercial bandit, Josh Allen himself, the commercial bandit.
Watch this. I got a rebuttal for him. Young.
No, ain't no rebuttal. It's no rebuttal.
No, go ahead.
It's no rebuttal. It's no rebuttal. It's not a debate. It's my opinion on who's the most pressure. No, it's not a debate. We're predicting who has the most pressure. It's the Bills. And the pressure not just coming from the team. So I don't want to care. I don't care that Von Miller got hurt. I don't care that they didn't have a good rush defense. I don't care that I don't care that the safeties wasn't there. Because I'm not trying to hear that. Because when they walked into that locker room, when Josh Allen walked in that locker room, he wasn't thinking about all the things he did not have. He was thinking I played like I didn't play well. That's what he was thinking. And all I'm saying is the Bills, the team. Why are you talking, bro? Did you not say the Ravens? Who interrupted you, gang? Who? You got your shit off. Let me get my shit off. Y'all always doing this. You and Dad, young man, young and full of vigor. I love it, but hold on. Anyway, the Bills Mafia been running through these tables, jumping through tables, saying that they've been this team. The media, not us as the media, but mainstream media was anointing Josh Allen, the Bills, is their Super Bowl team. I'm ready to see it happen. I'm ready to see it. I don't care about what you don't have, what you don't have, because I don't give Justin Herbert some grace when he do what he do. You know what I'm saying? When he did what he did, I didn't give him no grace. Lamar didn't get no grace when he wasn't doing well in the playoffs. I didn't give him no grace to talk about the wide receivers. I just defend him in the sense that he's not as bad as y'all try to say. But outside of that, I give no grace when you play bad. I'm not trying to talk. I'm not trying to hear nothing else. The Bills have the most pressure. Y'all been this team that's been winning this imaginary Super Bowl for the last 3 years. I am ready to see it. And when I had that cupcake schedule a few years back, and I told y'all this shit is because they had a dog walk schedule, and then y'all gonna see this team collapse, and ultimately they collapse. I'm tired of the hype. I don't believe in it anymore. I want to see it happen. I want to see it happen.
So here's my thing now.
Go ahead, Trent. Go ahead.
Here's my thing now. I feel what you're saying.
Rebuttal that shit, Trent. Rebuttal that shit. Rebuttal that shit.
Nothing you said. Nothing you, Dad, just said. I'm not disagreeing.
Come on, I'm saying don't.
I'm gonna tell y'all now. I hope y'all start doing the same shit that we doing with the Bills to the Bengals. I hope y'all do that same exact.
Okay.
I hope y'all do that.
Okay. I didn't know where you were going, Trent. I didn't know you were going.
That's it. All I'm just saying. We're gonna do this to the Bills. If the Bengals don't make no noise this next year and they
sound the alarm. Sound the alarm.
No, what do you mean by noise?
Same to the Dolphins.
No, we got to figure out what you mean by noise.
Basically, the Bills are Super Bowl plus basically every year. So basically, so is the Bengals. Josh Allen is getting a lot of flack for losing and having playoff duds. Not a damn person talked about Joe Burrow in this last year. He had one perfect game. He had one perfect game against the Bills. And then the first round, he almost lost to Tyler Huntley. And then the third game, he played. The only reason why he lost to the Chiefs because he played mid. But nobody's giving that slack because he made.
Can I add context? Can we add context? Now I feel you. I won't violate what you're saying in that part. I hear what you're saying. If they play bad, we gotta be on them. And I've been critical. Every quarterback that play bad, you can never say when they play bad. I don't just say they've been bad. But I will say this in regards to the Joey B. I'm not even going to just say because they made the Super Bowl. The reason, all I'm going to say is, Trent, I don't believe over the last three, when they first came on the scene, the second year with Joe Burrow, anybody even thought to them to be a contender yet for at least another 3 to 4 years. So I got to say that the Bengals, I'm only giving them grace, Trent, is because they came on a little earlier than everybody thought they was even going to come on to. The fact that they even went to an AFC trip, let alone Joe Burrow playing mid and going to a Super Bowl and him not playing that great, Trent, the fact that they even were there, not even on the strength. I'm not even saying the benefit to say this is because of Joe Burrow. I'm saying the fact that a team that we believe was probably, I would have said they'll be in their first Super Bowl in 2025, 2026. I didn't think they would have been in the Super Bowl in year 2. Nobody saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming. So I'm just putting context to that the Bills, on the other hand, let me bring the Bills back in so I can put my context to it. The Bills, on the other hand,
that's nasty,
for 3 years, they have literally been booked as they're really the best team in the AFC.
Mhm.
I don't really know. Remember, before Mahomes won another Super Bowl, I don't really know if Mahomes is better than Josh Allen. Are they really? It might be closer than you think. I heard a lot of blasphemy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Hey, let
crazy.
me- hold on,
Let's add
I just think
context.
expectations
Hold
was
on.
way different.
Wait,
Way
wait, wait,
I want to
J-Rob
add
added-
something. I want to add something real quick to that as well. Is that the Bengals are still like growing at the same time. Like Joey B still going, obviously going to get his large contract. Jamar Chase and him are going to stick together. They're going to pay T. Higgins. Like the central core of their team is going to keep on rising, keep on growing. They're young. Whereas the Bills, hey man, Stephon Diggs kind of looking sideways at Josh Allen. If they do not make noise this year, I don't know about
This is
Stephon
why
Diggs
this is
and
why
Josh
I
Allen
think it's the
moving forward.
same,
I'm
right?
saying.
Because this is why I think it's the same. Because just like how nobody thought the Bengals were going to arrive like this, I swear I'm put it like this. I swear to God, I heard nobody, because 2020, everybody had Josh Allen heading into as a draft bust. So when they rose up, nobody thought the Bills going to be like this. And in the way how they lost to the Chiefs, nobody even thought about that.
Trent, it took one season with Diggs for them to be Super Bowl winners. That's what it took, bro.
And it took
Even
one
after
season
1
for
year.
Joe Burrow.
But Joe Burrow didn't come into that second year with Super Bowl expectations, bro. There was no, he did not. He did. His second year came up to ACL. So you got to look at it like this, though. You got to add some more context now, because Joe Burrow came into that second year with the expectation it would just be nice if they made the wild card. If they just would have made the wild card, winning season, have a winning season, that would have been cool for the expectations of the Bengals fans and probably the front office. Let's just try to make a wild card spot this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills came in that second year post Stephon Diggs with this team can win a Super Bowl. They can win a Super Bowl. And then the year after, they can win the Super Bowl.
Because
this year, they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I'm comparing it to like when they both hit their stride. So the Bills can win the Super Bowl and the Bengals. I'm not saying, because I'm not on the Bills hype. I never was on the Josh Allen hype.
No, I know he wasn't on the Josh Allen hype. I know you're saying this for the sake of the Burrow madness.
Point, because I'm hearing like, Joe Burrow's this clutch guy. He's the clear second best quarterback. So after next year, if they like flop or something, like we're gonna have to have these same talks. Same thing with Josh Allen, like we're doing with Josh Allen. We're gonna have to do the same thing for Joe Burrow. That's what I'm saying.
100%.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the Bills. I will say though, if they figure out a way to get JT, I say it again, they're going to the Super Bowl. Now, if they don't, they're the biggest fraud in NFL history.
No, apparently the Jonathan Taylor trades are completely done. They're not trading.
Yeah, they got to wait.
They're not trading him no more.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I drafted him in one of my fantasy leagues.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to trade him.
I do have a question for you guys. That's hilarious. I did see that. I think I did see that one that you do have him. I do have a question though. Do you guys have, in terms of quarterback to wide receiver combo, do you have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs over Joey B and Jamar Chase? So you have you have Jamar Chase and Joey B as the best quarterback to wide receiver.
So here's the thing. I think
you count Travis Kelce.
I think
no, wide receiver.
I think Diggs.
Even though Kelsey's kind of like a wide receiver, I see what you mean. My fault. Go ahead.
When's the first? Never mind. Go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say because I'm not gonna lie. That duo is so flip flop. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Exactly.
Once they on, they on. You ain't stopping. But like the thing is, bro, like
look at Trey.
I can still see a little Bengals and
you're moving like an imposter right now, Trey. What's going on?
Because Bama be hitting on the spot, bro. He be saying like sometimes they move like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, because it could be Joe. Because I swear to God, that 2020 year, bro, it used to be, bro, fucking Jamar down there. He gonna get it every time. Bro. Like, right. So they do it. So, but it's like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, like the refined group. It's like it's like they get some explosive plays, but they just hitting it every time.
Every time. There you go. The consistency.
Joey B and Jamar, they explosive. Like, Jamar gonna take a 5-yard slant to the crib. He gonna throw a bomb. But that's just, bro. It's really pick or poison, bro. It's really
that's a fair point. I think in my opinion, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, like you said, Trent, it's kind of like that steady hammer and nail Whereas like they get to their spots, like you know what I mean, like they kind of have this consistency about them in their frequency, right? But like you said, the more explosive, like you know what I'm saying, like the explosive plays definitely come out of Joey B and Jamar Chase. Obviously, Jamar Chase being one of the most explosive wide receivers that can take a 5-yard slant, you know what I mean, to the crib, like you said. Any a little hitch route can, you know, he could turn it upfield and it's damaging. So I think, like you said, when they're clicking, I think you get more bang for your buck with Joey B and Jamar Chase. But I think in the overall consistency of the game, but that's the thing about it. When Josh Allen's consistent, it works. But when he's not consistent,
he's shaking himself. Like he's
right.
So it's like
so to say consistent in their duo is hilarious. You know what I mean? It's like a contradictory kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I also like the fact, kind of similar to Mahomes and Travis Kelce, that Chase and Burrow kind of know each other's tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
So when something's going off script, they know how to play with each other.
Right.
And at this point, I don't really know the chemistry between Diggs and Allen. From the surface, seems like it's a little rocky, honestly. But at the very least, I have more faith in Burrow and Chase to get something done when the time calls.
What about AJ Brown and Hurts?
I was just about to say that. I think their chemistry is probably, like you said, probably like right behind. They're probably like second tier behind Kelce. I think they developed it in such a short period of time. I think they trust each other. I think AJ Brown says one thing, and like they see the routes the same. I think they see that side of the field the same. I think that's why Devontae Smith doesn't get the work that he should be getting, just because of that connection being so strong. Because honestly, I think Devontae Smith is a number one that's playing a number two role, honestly, to be honest.
Same with T. Higgins, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's like T. Higgins. They're two number ones. But the thing is, I don't even look at them as like a number two. It's just a matter of, do you play the X or do you play the Z?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, realistically, Trey, they probably not even switching sides of the field. They probably playing left and right. You know what I'm saying? Like Devontae will be in the boundary sometimes. AJ will be in the boundary, because usually your best receiver's in the boundary. The boundary for you noobs who don't know what boundary is, it's the short side of the field. That's the boundary. It's the shorter side of the field. That's where the ISOs be, 50-50 slants, the ISO guys, usually your best receiver.
Back shoulders,
yeah, you want him in a match. You want him in the one-on-one matchup because he's your best guy.
Right.
But yeah, I think they're both really number ones. T. Higgins is going to get a bag to play somewhere. It's going to be really difficult for the Bengals to retain him, because if I'm a team that's looking for a dynamic number one who is 6'4", jump ball, I think on the right side, T. Higgins could easily on the right team have the same numbers Jamar Chase has in the right system, just because he has a lot of talent too. So
wait, real quick, because this is still football related, bro. Did y'all see what Eli Apple baby mama did, bro? You see what she said?
No.
Bro, she literally said she would pay any player that hits him in the like do a dirty hit on Eli Apple. I swear to God.
No way.
I swear. She literally says Eli
doing down for real right now.
It literally says Eli Apple's baby mom says she would intentionally she would pay a fine for if somebody hits him intentionally. That's sad.
That's crazy.
She's bitter baby mamas. All right. Wow. So let's get to this. Actually, let me just get through two of these super chats, because we're gonna get into this topic. Do y'all have players you see breaking out in college football this year?
Matthew Golden,
K. Klubnik.
I'm gonna go Jaden Daniels. No. Actually, you know who I'm gonna go? DJ Ungulele, Oregon State.
I gotta see that.
I'm telling you. I want you to know that. I want to see that. I want it to happen because I gotta admit, DJ, if you just look at like 6'5", 6'6", big howitzer arm, like, bro, he's first round in terms of just pure God-given talent. So you kind of want him to be good. And Trent, I ain't gonna lie, Oregon State, they're gonna be one of the teams to beat in the. I don't know if y'all watch too much. I don't know how much like late night football y'all watch on the East Coast, but Oregon State at 10 o'clock.
It was nice.
It was nice as hell, bro. It was nice as hell, and they're gonna probably have the best running game in the pack this year. And they're gonna add a third runner and passer with DJ. I think that team is gonna be really damn good. Definitely gonna stay DJ Ungulele.
And he's in a better system for him.
Yeah.
I liked Zachariah Branch, man.
He He remind me of like Tavon and D'Angelo.
He has crazy speed control.
Yes, Tavon. I was just about to say, yo, he gives me
nice.
Tavon.
He's like bigger than Tavon.
He's bigger, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I forgot. There was this. Damn, I forgot his name. The kid on FSU with Jameson. Damn, I forgot his name. It was like a wide receiver punt returner.
Oh, Keon Coleman.
Was it Coleman on Everson when
Johnny
Jameson?
Wilson? Johnny Wilson is crazy.
On the team now?
No, not on the team. No. It was when Jameis Winston was on FSU. They had like a wide receiver that was a little bit small. He did punt returns.
I think he was number 8.
Kick returns. He was dumb fast, like very shifty. I forgot his name, but super nice. Like I think, man, he has a lot of potential, and I think he might get a lot of all-purpose yards. So watch out for him, man. I think he's gonna do.
Jay, what is bro on the bottom right? So you talking about Go Blue? I think.
Yeah.
Which players today that drive the best in the 90s and 80s? Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry, easy.
Derrick Henry.
For sure.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald for sure. I think
Fred Warner.
Oh yeah.
Myles
Garrett.
Yep.
I could definitely.
All right. So let's tap into this new topic, man. Something that, obviously I feel like we've been talking about this a lot, but the story I feel like it's like we're watching a soap opera. It just gets.
It's a story. It's the bloodline storyline.
It's the NFL's bloodline storyline, but the story gets juicier and juicier.
Everybody's going crazy already.
So, old man Jerry Jones does it again at the 11th hour. Old man Jerry Jones at the 11th hour finds his way to making sure we know that he is the NFL's most interesting owner, because for a 4th round draft pick, they trade that 4th round pick to the 49ers for who? We think who? Maybe a running back, maybe a defensive player. No, for Trey Lance. Oh my God, how the story
Trey,
goes.
I don't know what he is. Lance. That's the real name.
Exactly.
Trey. Yeah, Trey, right now, silly putty clay dough. We don't know what he's going to be at Lance. Still very much a lot of potential. Right. All the upside, the sky is the limit.
Prospect to the
upside. At this point, I don't even know if that's true. Like,
sky is the limit. But we'll see. But I will say this part of it. I will say this, and I'll leave the floor to you guys. Jerry Jones has clearly made it obvious to the world that he is not in love with Dak Prescott. He ain't never gonna be in love with Dak Prescott. He wasn't in love with him when he took Tony Romo's job, and he ain't gonna be in love with him now. And that's just the real truth of the matter. And you can tell by the press conference when they asked Dak about the situation, and Dak goes, "Nothing surprises me anymore."
Damn.
Nothing surprises me anymore. If that's not shade, I don't know what is. And on top of that, it tells you this. Dak, you got 2 years, bro.
You got 2 years, buddy. Not bro. You're buddy at this point. You're buddy.
2 years. 2 years, then he's a quarterback for the Buccaneers.
You got
so what's the contract look like now?
The contract is looking like, bro, we are not going to extend. We'll probably pick up your option for the year after. Because if we don't go to a Super Bowl or win an NFC championship in the next 2 years, Trey area, it's time to see what we're going to build you to be. Because ultimately, that's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to look. Trey Lance next year is going to be their full-time preseason quarterback.
Yep.
He's going to be their full-time preseason quarterback the year after. Yep. Then his rookie deal will be up.
Yep.
Okay. And if they like what they see by that second year, I promise you he'll be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Because listen, there's still a reason why he went number 3 overall. There's a reason why the Cowboys went and plunged for him. You got to remember, Jerry didn't tell nobody about this. He just called. He made a phone call and said, "I want Trey Lance. I got a 4th rounder for you. That's probably the best pick you're gonna get. You're not gonna get a 3rd, 2nd, or 1st for him. I got a 4th rounder for you. Do you want it?"
Yes.
Deal.
Get him out of here.
He was crazy. They took it fast.
I didn't blink.
Yeah. They've been waiting.
Wait, I have a question. Was Dak in contract a couple years ago? Was he in like contract issue with Dallas? Yeah. So like let's be real. It's been kind of tension between Dak and management for a little now with this contract and like the side remark, and there's been little side remarks, like you know how Jerry Jones after his interviews, he interviewed against little side remarks and all that towards Dak. So I kind of do feel bad a little bit for Dak because like he has overachieved for what he was drafted at as a 4th rounder. No one expected Dak to be like this, and he has been a good quarterback. I think we know how he is. We're not saying he's like top 5, top 8, but he's a good quarterback. But it's like right now, kind of Dallas, like dang, and it's kind of like, hey man, it's kind of like. You had a girl, right? And then all of a sudden you got a side chick, hey man, right? Hey man,
are we paying too much? Hey, are we paying too much stock into Trey Lance though?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
honestly, that's a big question. Like,
it's basically like cheating in front of Dak's face. It's kind of crazy. He's like, hey man, you can move on. I don't need you.
I'm with you.
That's my thoughts, though. That's just my thoughts.
Cowboys, though, because Jerry Jones always like to make headlines and big moves. You know, a couple years ago, he was in an argument with his son trying to draft Johnny Manziel. You know, so this ain't nothing new with Jerry Jones, but this is maybe Trey Lance's last stop. You know, he's going to be extra motivated to prove that he's not a draft bust because the 49ers management had been dragging this kid through the mud, you know, inadvertently, you know, throughout the preseason to where he was placed as the third-string quarterback behind Sam Darnold. So that's already a black eye on his career. So now you're going to the Dallas Cowboys where the media, it's going to be a media frenzy. If that Prescott start throwing interceptions or doing turnovers, people going to be chanting Trey Lance's name. And then if Trey Lance come in and he doesn't show out, you know, this could be it. So, it's different areas. You know, Dak might feel more motivated, like he want to play better because he got a number 3 or number 2 overall pick right behind him. But it's like it's so many. It's like why would Jerry do this at this time? You know, it's just crazy.
So I mean, for me, I don't. As a person, I guess you could feel bad for Dak Prescott, obviously, but as a football fan, I don't really feel that bad because at the end of the day, like the Cowboys team has been loaded for a very, very long time while he was
finally somebody needs to start saying that shit, bro. His team's been good.
I feel bad for that part.
So they've been a good team for so long, and then they just kept on falling short. And we all know this is because one, you could blame Jason Garrett, you can blame Mike McCarthy, but also Dak Prescott just not one of those premier quarterbacks you're expecting a lot from. So with Trey Lance being there, 2 years I might feel you for that because like will Trey Lance even beat up Cooper Rush for the backup job? I don't even know if he's going to do that at this point. But I will say this for Trey Lance though. And this is like what Michael Irvin said on Skip Bayless' show. He got Sherman, Irvin, Keyshawn. Apparently, he's going crazy over there. But Irvin said that Trey Lance probably wasn't good in the 49ers system because it was just too hard. So he needs a simpler system, and maybe he'll be good. And
but it's Kyle Shanahan, though. He turned bad quarterbacks into good to average quarterbacks. I mean, he changed Matt Schaub's career, bro.
I mean, it can still be a very complicated system. Like, I mean, it probably is.
Really, you know, I mean, Kyle Shanahan he takes good quarterbacks. I mean, how many quarterbacks under his system struggle? I mean, that's a question. I never seen a quarterback under. That's it. I mean, that's the only one, you know. But
I think you could be a good, talented quarterback, but not be good in understanding schemes. I think that is possible.
And also, I think Trey Lance didn't have like compared to Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy also played a lot more football than Trey Lance. Brock Purdy came as a 4-year starter. Trey Lance only played 1 year. And all these other quarterbacks have a lot of football experience, like Nick Mullins, Garoppolo. Obviously, Matt Ryan was a veteran. So I would say Trey Lance just hasn't had enough reps of football in general, let alone NFL. It's just like what JayRob said. It's like, imagine you, JayRob, you getting ready for NFL, but you only play a couple snaps at, like, let's say you only play 5 games at corner. I need to go straight into the NFL. That's going to be a big adjustment. I'm trying to, relate to it.
Wait. Who said, hold on, I got to do 2 things real quick because I forgot the super chat real quick. With the way the NFL treating running backs, do you see any running backs now with Hall of Fame potential, or will we see a decline in Hall of Fame running back? Well, players ain't going to want to play that shit.
Nick Chubb. Yeah.
People are not going to want to
They're
play
gonna
running back.
know.
Yeah,
There's
players are
still
not
some
going to want
guys
to play
that
running
can
back.
get in.
Yeah.
You're gonna start. You'll see the slot receiver position transition.
Yes.
A running back slash.
Absolutely.
Like they'll call slot receivers. Like I think the word slot back will become
Slot backs.
Slot back. That sounds nasty.
That sounds nasty, but I think that'll legitimately be like because that's how players will get paid to be playmakers.
So Cooper,
if you want me to run that ball, I'm not getting paid as a running back. Nobody wants to get paid like that.
Yeah, true.
Then one of the super chat guy was JayRob. This guy said Urban Meyer didn't get a fair shake. Who said that?
Yeah, right.
Who said that?
He's probably talking about go.
Probably someone in the comment in the chat saying that
Urban got a fair shake, bro.
You probably should have
shake,
fired
man.
earlier.
A
Not
lot
gonna
of
lie.
shake.
Like
Shake.
that thing was disgusting.
Yeah, no, that was nasty. Go ahead, context.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to say, Jay, actually have and it's a reference to Aaron Rodgers, the showing that he just had in. So the thing with Dak Prescott is, right, obviously this is definitely, I want to say it's a big red flag, but it's definitely something to keep your antennas on watch for moving forward, because obviously Cooper Rush is the backup quarterback, right? So his position is never going to get removed. I think he's the perfect backup quarterback for that team. And he provides stability whenever if Dak Prescott is injured, whatever the case may be. Obviously, there's a great development risk that they can do if it works out for them. I mean, Jerry looks like a genius, right? If it doesn't, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can still just end up drafting a quarterback anyway. You're able to hedge both sides of your bet. Keep Dak motivated as he should be. And a lot of people like you make great points, Riddell, like where it says, oh, you can blame Mike McCarthy, you can blame Jason Garrett. But at the end of the day, the quarterback, to a certain extent, is the coach on the field, right? And for example, right, let's look at what Aaron Rodgers did, right? Just the difference in mentality and play recognition, and the team and the organization having trust in you when things break down, or when you may see something on the field. Like for me, I feel like Dak Prescott has played it safe so much in his play style. Very, very. And when he does take it a step level, like past where he's supposed to, or take things on his own, it doesn't work out well. You know what I mean? The decision making, turnovers, things may be. But I think he's able to be a very, very stable and play it very safe. And for example, the thing with Aaron Rodgers, remember with Aaron Rodgers, those were 2 run plays that were being called. And they ended up getting 2 back shoulder throws to Garrett Wilson because he realized he had one-on-one coverage. Obviously, it's against the second team against the Giants. But just knowing like that presence of mind of referring, okay, I see I have an opportunity to practice this. Let me go practice this. You know what I mean? Because when I get in a real game time decision, I can be able to adjust and things. And that's what separates you as a upper tier quarterback.
You break
not staying within the offense, just doing whatever the coach says. But break up. Oh, hello. Yep.
Yeah,
I think you're cutting out.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Am I lagging?
You're cutting out, bro.
A little bit.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is, man. Y'all remember when Jerry Jones paid that press conference, and Jerry Jones said, I overpaid you, but you got lucky. Well, in a couple of years, it's about to come back up where Dak Prescott's got to get paid again, and he's still a young quarterback. You see these guys. I mean, Herbert just got what, $55 million. Jalen Hurts, 50-something million. Lamar, in 2 years, that might be $60-65 million a year. Yeah. Jerry Jones is not making that mistake again. He's not paying Dak Prescott $65 million. He's not making him the highest paid quarterback again.
With Dak Prescott, he took a pay cut. I mean, he wants to be Dallas Cowboys. I don't see him like
if he took a pay cut, if he do that, of course. But I mean, if I'm 31 years old, I'm still in my prime. I'm trying to get that bag, especially if I can get $65 million over something, But
describe the bag for Dak Prescott. He's not a Joe Burrow tier type of quarterback.
But he got paid. He still got paid. But remember, he got paid, and he's never been a Joe Burrow, and he was the highest paid.
He got paid off of potential because they didn't know what the future was going to be like. They expected Super Bowls during that second contract.
I mean, that's
the caveat I was going to say. If that gets you, the thing about Jerry Jones, You get him what you want, what he wants, he's gonna pay. You saw that with Zeke. Zeke was carrying. He said, "Zeke, I love you. I'm gonna pay you."
Mhm.
And Zeke was terrible in that contract. If Dak can get him a Super Bowl, $70 million.
Oh, he might be quarterback for the next 10 years if we get him a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it might
because
definitely
Jerry's gonna
things
take
will
care of him.
change. Well,
but
I
that's
would
the thing
say
about Jerry. He's not going unless Dak. Like we done said, these Cowboys teams have been good. They have not been trash. They've been good teams, and we're always pointing quarterback or we pointing to somebody else. We say, "Oh, Jason Garrett's not that good. Oh, Kellen Moore, he's not that good." Well, now there ain't no more excuses. And now Jerry Jones said, "Hey, I got this young 20."
And they drafted well, and they drafted greatly too. They drafted amazingly too.
Yeah. And
Also,
if we could pay Trey Lance $10 million and go spend 50 of that $60 million and go get better players around him, I'm gonna do
Good
that.
point.
If that can't deliver, I might as well do that.
But
And
Jerry
also-
Jones
That's
getting
why he
older,
went
man. But Jerry
Yeah.
Jones getting older. He wants to win now. So can
Yeah.
he wait another 3 to 4 years for Trey Lance to develop to what potentially he could be? I mean, Jerry Jones is not a
agree with
patient man. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So,
But
That's
if Dak can't deliver now, he ain't never gonna deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
why give him $60 million and never deliver if you know that he's not going to do it?
Yeah, especially when the NFC is the NFC has like been the weakest I've ever seen it in the last few years. It's been wide open. It's literally been two teams, Eagles and Niners, and then Cowboys are there, but for some reason they're never there.
Right.
So
And there's
it's
no
been
more
a-
excuses. Like,
Exactly.
I mean, you look
wide
they just
open,
got
loaded
Gilmore.
talent.
Yeah, they have an opportunity.
No holes on the defense. Now we got Brandon Cooks to go with CD and Michael Gallup coming back. So the receivers nice. We got Tony Pollard, running backs nice. The O-line's nice. What's really the question mark on the Cowboys? They're not up there with those echelon top.
And not only that young, it's not like they're in the AFC ready to face Joe Burrow, Lamar, Trevor, this, that.
Exactly.
You're facing Jalen Hurts, and that's it, really. You might have the second best quarterback in the NFC. Actually,
Respect
you might
Kirk
do.
Cousins. Respect
Kirk Cousins. I respect him, but in my opinion, I have Dak over
Respect
him.
Matthew Stafford. Respect Matthew
No,
He's unhealthy. Get his health.
That
Unhealthy
roster
is
is
still
not
better
that
than
good
Dak.
Yeah,
Unhealthy.
they're paying for all those first
But
round
that's
picks
the thing. Like, and also, even to your point with Dak's contract, I think he got paid like that because that was the quarterback market at the time, and Kirk Cousins just got a bag, so that kind of reset the market higher. So I think that's another reason why he got paid that much. Because when one quarterback gets paid highly, that kind of sets the market for everybody else. Same thing every other position.
Definitely.
But again, they're paying for potential, though.
Right.
Listen, I get it. I get it now. His contract's coming up. They know who Dak Prescott is.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. I get your point.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
hoping
When
he's
you
gonna
go into any player's second contract and they play well the first 2 years, you want to pay them before the market exceeds. They're going to think, okay, this could be our guy. So of course you're going to overpay. We see it with other quarterbacks as well. I mean, we saw it with Joe Flacco. After his first contract, second contract, they thought like, oh, okay, we're going to get a second, third Super Bowl out of this guy. It always happens, but
no.
But that, I mean, a lot of time it does happen, So we can't say that Dak Prescott is going to set the market or not. I think he won't. I think he has going to take a pay cut. I think he wants to stay in dollars. I don't see him going. Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere else.
Who, Dak?
I don't see that.
No. Dak is definitely like, if a team got some love for Dak, he's going with a love at. What?
Where?
Dak been playing stepchild to Jerry Jones for the last few years.
Fair point. That's a fair point.
You gotta understand, bro. You gotta understand when Jerry Jones gave him that contract with that money, he wasn't happy about that shit. He was pissed, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm telling you. He did not pay that.
I'll be pissed too, Jay. I'll be pissed.
No, because I don't believe that. Because Jerry Jones and gave hella other people bread and brought players in that he was more than happy to bring in. He was more than happy to pay Zeke.
But
he pay his guy.
That contract. But that's my point. Dak has never been his guy.
Exactly.
And it is clearly felt by both of them. It is clearly acknowledged. Everybody sees it. So that's what I'm saying. Like if Trey comes around and they let him rock out, bro, they're going to move on. They're going to move on.
Save that bread.
Save that bread, and go on with Trey Lance and let Dak right off to the sunset. I appreciate everything you did for us, Dak, Dakota, and good luck in your next endeavors, because that's what that will end up being. Let me get to this super chat because we only got about 6 minutes left. Another point on the Ryan Day versus UM combo. OSU was beating up on UM when they were mediocre in the late 2000s to the mid 2010s. UM has been a top 10 program the past 2 years, so him losing isn't bad. OSU would be in top 10. Yeah, I mean they lost. He only lost twice, but he better win this year. On God, I ain't gonna.
Hey, so
I ain't losing. I ain't never in my life lost 3 years in a row.
Hey, Urban Meyer not losing these.
I'm not losing. If I lose 3 in a row, man,
you putting a gun to his head already?
I know. We lose 3 in a row. I don't even care about like if we could go undefeated, get into the playoffs. I won't care. I won't care.
I'm curious on y'all thoughts about something, right? So another thing that's going on right in the NFL, and somebody made a crazy statement about this, but the Chris Jones situation for the Kansas City Chiefs is pretty crazy because he's putting out cryptic tweets or cryptic posts out there like, I might not come back until
he wants that bread.
Yeah, he wants that bread. The Chiefs, I don't know what they're doing, but do y'all think, because someone said, I think it was Dan Orlovsky who said this, do y'all think the Chiefs will miss the playoffs if they don't have Chris Jones?
No, I don't.
I know that's what they said about Tyreek Hill. Remember they said Tyreek Hill with dip. They ain't gonna make. I mean, they ain't gonna go to the Super Bowl, man. I'm not paying too much.
Well, Tyreek Hill is different because the offense side. I do think it'll be harder because like you're the best defensive player.
That'd be a huge loss.
That's
that
a huge
whole
loss.
defense is built around him.
Like your best defensive player over a receiver is a huge loss in my opinion.
I think it's harder to replace Chris Jones than it is to replace Tyreek Hill. You'll never get the same production. You'll never get You never get Tyreek Hill. You never get Tyreek Hill level production. But the thing is, you still have Mahomes. You still have the orchestrator.
Yeah.
You still have the guy who can make the most out of anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Mahomes played with the most. They had the most rookies starting in Kansas City of any team. They won a Super Bowl. You got to really understand they had the most rookies starting in the league last year, and they won the Super Bowl. Like that's unprecedented, bro. It's unprecedented. So I mean, shit. Sky Moore's first touchdown of his career. Of his rookie career was in the Super Bowl. Like,
that's insane. That's insane. On top of that, too, the Chiefs did make a trade for Raiders Neil Farrell.
Tackle.
So
that was a good trade.
They're definitely putting that idea like just in case.
Water. We just talked about this. We talked about this, bro. I literally just pulled it up.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are at the very least in a good position because, like JayRob said, a lot of their young talent were rookies last year on the defensive end. So obviously their DBs are going to be better with Watson and the other one, Trent McDuffie. He's going to get better. That one Karlaftis, he's going to get better.
George Karlaftis.
Their defense overall, Nick Bolton's going to get another year, probably going to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL this year. So they're going to get better, but Chris Jones was like one of the 3, arguably 2, arguably 1 best defender in football. So losing him is going to be a crazy blow.
Yeah. I think
missed playoffs is, to me, I think that's crazy. As long as you got Mahomes healthy, I think they'll always.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So my question, I got 3 teams for y'all because one of these teams is going to probably miss the playoffs this year. The Broncos, the Chargers, the Steelers. Which one of those teams? Which one of those teams is missing the playoffs?
Because the Broncos got injuries. The Broncos got too many injuries right now.
All 3.
No.
If the Chargers miss the playoffs, holy
the head coach can't.
You got to blow it up, Jay. If the Chargers miss the playoffs,
Trevor Lawrence
you have to blow it up.
Oh yeah, I'm
the Herbert Lees are going to have to talk.
Quarterback all day. That's all he's going to get from now on. Brandon Staley's getting fired if they miss the playoffs.
Yes.
I don't think
he should have got fired last season.
I'll tell you right now. If let's say the Chargers, let's just say they start out the year,
he's getting fired.
2-5. 2-6.
He's out of there.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
Get the job to Kellen Moore. That's who they want anyway.
They will literally give the job to Kellen Moore, bro.
That's who they want anyway. Exactly. That's why they went and got Kellen Moore.
Like the QB for the future, so of course they're gonna pass down to Kellen Moore.
I think Kellen Moore's offense. I know everybody says it didn't fit Dak, but for what they're doing in LA.
Yeah.
Listen,
It feels Herbert.
He's a great coordinator. He's a great coordinator.
We'll be able to have an MVP year.
But JayRob,
yeah.
The main problem with the Chargers is the offensive line. You know, can that offensive line hold up? Because Justin Herbert was getting hit, bro.
Is that one tackle back? Is he healthy?
Is this Slater back?
Yeah,
back?
He's back.
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
He should be back. And the team that's going to surprise y'all the most this year, the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh my goodness!
I don't think the Lions will be a surprise. I got them winning the division. I don't think they're going to surprise. I got them winning the division.
The Seahawks are going to the NFC Championship.
Okay.
Wow. I got the. No, I'm calling. It's going to be the Bird. It's going to be the Bird Bowl, man. Eagles versus Seahawks.
Oh, okay.
Damn, Darnold as the starting quarterback for the 49ers is beating the Seahawks.
I'm not sniffing the 49ers catnip, bro. I'm not.
Bro,
I'm on with you right now,
there, bro. I'm just saying, man.
I'm telling you that shit.
Hey, man, a team.
They got a top 5 corner though in Seattle.
You think Brock Purdy's a fraud? You think Brock Purdy's fraudulent?
No, Brock Purdy's
a fraud. Is just I don't think Brock Purdy is a fraud. It's just more so like, man, they got tape on him now, so we're gonna really find out who he is, bro. Like
that's a great point.
JayRob a whole off season.
Yes, like you got.
It still won't matter. Like they had tape on Jimmy G, and what did he do? Go right back to the NFC Championship.
Oh my God, this is what pisses me off. This is what pisses me off, and this we gotta go because we're at the 2-hour mark. I hate when y'all bring up this Jimmy G shit. Do you know why I hate when y'all bring up Jimmy G?
Why?
Because there are games in the playoffs where he threw the ball 10 times.
That's fair.
He did not do shit. He had his ultimate God squad. And the thing is, and this is why you 49ers fans and all you winning don't matter ass merchants will always sound like suckers to me, is because y'all bring up Jimmy G. Y'all bring up Jimmy G just for him to be like, well, he made it to the NFC. He missed the throw that would have sealed the game in the Super Bowl, and he went to NFC Championships, and they did not win. So it didn't matter. You got there just to be first last. You know what second place is? You know what second place is? You know what second place is?
The first to last.
For y'all who don't know, and this is the difference from you participation trophy ass kids and me like JayRob, Bama, Trey, who understand this shit. You know what my mama used to tell me as a kid? When you got that participation trophy and, oh, it's so pretty. My mom said, throw it in the trash. You know why? Yep. Second place is first last. And first last doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Look. Shout out to Talladega Nights, man. If you're not first, you're last.
Nobody cares about nobody would give a damn about Noah Lyles saying what he said about the NBA if he was the silver medalist.
Right.
Exactly. That's facts. Okay.
But he's the gold medalist.
He's still wrong.
World champion. 3 gold medals in the world championship. Second place is first last. And with that being said, child, bid y'all farewell. Go be winners.
I'm sniffing that Packers cap.
Be winners, yo.
Be winners, man.
If you're not first, you're last.